Shabbat Shalom, sis. How you doing?
When you ask me if they play St. Mary's, they do next week in the playoffs. It ain't that St. Mary's though. It's a neutral game, so I don't think it's that neutral. It's a neutral. Yeah, I know. That's why they play it, because they won. Or they would have been done.
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom to the worldwide family. Peaceful Sabbath, y'all, as we get about our Abba's business. Y'all, we're going to get right to it. Y'all know how we do it. Wherever you at on this planet Earth, turn toward holy Jerusalem, from whence our health cometh from. Yes, sir. 1 Kings 8th chapter, also Isaiah, the 2nd chapter.
All right, family. We're going to get this opening prayer. And it is with the Most High's permission, and is in the name of His only begotten and beloved Son.
Yes, sir.
Our Lord and Savior and our Redeemer. Yes, sir. Yahushua HaMashiach. But we know Him as Jesus the Christ, family. Long live the King.
Long live the King.
Reading in the book of Psalms.
Read.
In the 27th chapter.
Yes,
it reads. The Most High is my light and my salvation.
Yes, sir.
Whom shall I fear?
Yeah.
Yahweh is the strength of my life.
Yes.
Of whom shall I be afraid?
Yes.
When the wicked, even mine enemies and my foes, came upon me to eat up my flesh, they stumbled and fell.
Yes.
Though in hosts should encamp against me, my heart shall not fear.
Yes.
Though war should rise against me, in this will I be confident. One thing have I desired of the Most High, that will I seek after, that I may dwell in the house of the Most High all the days of my life.
Yes, sir.
To behold the beauty of mine Elohim,
Yes.
and to inquire in His temple.
Yes, sir.
For in the time of trouble He shall hide me in His pavilion. In the secret of His tabernacle shall He hide me. He shall set me upon a rock.
Yes, sir.
And now shall mine head be lifted up above mine enemies round about me.
Yes, sir.
Therefore will I offer in His tabernacle sacrifices of joy.
Yes, sir.
I will sing, I will sing praises unto the Most High.
Yes.
Hear, O Yahweh, when I cry with my voice. Have mercy also upon me, and answer me.
Yes.
When thou saidest, seek ye my face, my heart said unto thee, thy face, Master, will I seek.
Thank you, Creator.
Hide not thy face far from me.
Yes.
Put not thy servant away in anger.
Yes, sir.
Thou hast been my help.
Yeah.
Leave me not,
Yes.
neither forsake me,
Yes.
O Elohim of my salvation. When my father and my mother forsake me,
Yes, sir.
then the Most High will take me up.
Yes.
Lord.
Teach me thy way, O Yahweh,
Yes.
and lead me in a plain path
Yes.
because of mine enemy.
Yes.
Deliver me not over unto the will of mine enemy,
Yes.
for false witnesses are risen up against me,
Yes, sir.
and such as breathe out cruelty. I had fainted unless I had believed to see the goodness of the Elohim in the land of the living.
Yes.
Wait on the Most High.
Yes.
Be of good courage,
Yes.
and he shall strengthen thine heart.
Yes, sir.
Wait, I say,
Read.
on the Most High.
Yes, sir.
Hallelujah! Say that!
Yeah, bro, that was powerful. Yes, sir. All praise. Yes, sir. Y'all, and that's what it talks about in one mind, in one body, and one spirit. When you feel that energy like that, y'all, of this heavenly pure word. No, you can't get in this if you're fearful.
Not at all.
If you're a doubter, this ain't for you. You won't get this feeling we just got.
Okay.
Not without you ain't. That's a different type of fear you got.
Yeah,
That's false evidence appearing real.
right.
Yes.
Nothing true about
No, ain't nothing true about that. So y'all, our lesson today, and y'all, we're lambacking off of last week's class, a pure language or deceptive speech. Y'all, this is what's going to determine, you know, at the rod of correction, who you believe in. If you believe this Bible been tampered with, this ain't for you. You cannot understand what the pure language or the pure speech will be. You'll run to deceptive speech every time because you're looking at it like possibly it could be tainted. And what you've shown does not even express that. And what it comes down to, y'all, is it appear to be that the language is deceiving the people, or we keep going over and over and over again. What did the Messiah say when he said, don't be deceived?
That's right.
There's instructions for how not to be deceived. He would have just started off and just said, well, there's going to be different writers of the script. So watch out for that. But that's, y'all, that would make it grievous for us to not know where the Bible is tampered with, if that's what they're saying. You have to go by whatever they say and trust it.
Exactly.
But the only reason the Bible will ever be tampered with, if you void the law of the rules of the Bible, and that's everything. Every subject matter must be established by 2 witnesses, at the most 3, y'all. So once you understand the process, and like we went over the rules and how to study to show yourself approved, now we must know the language. Y'all, and what we're talking about is, do we know our letters? Letters make words. In the Hebrew, there's no vowels or consonants. So how do you say YWHW if that's how it is with no vowels or consonants? Who gonna say it the right way?
Right.
Because they're only letters.
Exactly.
But those letters mean something because those letters are driven by the holy law. If whatever words you put together violate the law, we got problems. So we're going to go into the language a little bit. We're going to get into Psalm 119 chapter, the longest chapter in the Bible. But it's the Hebrew alphabet. See, the Bible is equipped this much greater than ragu. Everything's in here. You ain't got to worry about nobody talking about the concordance. All that's in there because it breaks down and interprets itself.
Exactly.
You worrying about alphabet, the alphabet is in the Bible. So you don't have to listen to nobody that's calling themselves a linguistic master and ain't got no letters of learning.
Right.
Yo, everything we need is in here. All of the lost books is in here. The 66 books is a summary of all the other lost books. It goes into pieces. You want to find out day-to-day detail, then get into the lost books that are mentioned in the Holy Bible. But to say this has some fault in it, they're doing it with deceptive speech. They're having you chase words versus your letters. When we first come up, y'all, when the child get told how he's learning, his cerebral membrane is clicking, they say he know his ABCs. Sing your ABCs for Uncle Junior now. A, B, C, D. Won't you sing with me? The problem will be if they say, I got the ABC chart up. Point to a D, man. I don't know what it is. I just know the song.
Right.
See, and what's happening is people don't understand the language. They only know the song of deception.
Exactly.
And that's what's being preached to them, deception. regurgitating bad information, and that's what's happening. So y'all, we're gonna get all of that cleared up today to get some good understanding so you can study to show yourself approved. If somebody bring up that nonsense about tampering and always say this in the Hebrew, no, we're gonna get our language lesson from the Bible.
That's right.
We ain't caring about what they saying out of their mouth. Count every man a liar.
You've been tampered with.
Yes, sir. That's what they've been, and that's the mind. Their whole mind been tampered with. The mind is a terrible thing to waste on tampering and deception. Terrible thing. So y'all, again, the lesson, a pure language, or is it deceptive speech? But y'all know how we do it. We want to get shouts out to our family. We want to send shouts out to that Lakeisha Giles, that Ox DH 3D for life. Betty and Ron Lemons. Also to that sister Renee Storm. That sister Felicia Lay. And our brother David Jacquez. I ain't hollered at that brother in a while. He was down in Florida last time I rapped with brother David. And also sister Sharon Patton. Also y'all want to ask for continual prayers as well as for health and strength as well as for safety for our family in Jerusalem. You know, to our Agda, Ebo Yisrael and Naomi and Nakia and Sheb them and our one sister, I believe, I want to say her name is Grace that's over there. I'm going to have to double check with Jake. Praying for y'all over there for safety because the war is heating up, y'all. They got missiles flying daily.
Yes, sir.
Also to the house of Uriah, Sister Hananiah. Also, y'all, our brother, I spoke with him last couple of days, and that's our brother Judas N.I., not Iscariot. He informed me that, hey, everything is working well. He's not having any troubles that would cause the problem. He said, so the prayer definitely worked. Everything worked out well, and he's just getting positioned for the processes that he must go through now, you know, medically. He still have to do that.
He got his
stent put in. Yes, sir. So he's in good shape for that. And also to that Ock Push, just want to double check with you, bro, and see how them knees healing up. If you able to do the camel walk. If not, sit down till you're able to. What you got, sis?
I got a letter from Todd, and he asked me how you all were doing.
That's wonderful. That's Todd Shepard up there.
Yeah, and also prayer for Tommy Davidson.
Uh-huh.
That,
You ain't talking about that actor, is you, Tommy Davis? No, on Living Color. No, go ahead, but I'm just messing with you. Just go ahead.
He owns the drop shop over on St. Louis Avenue.
Van over there. That's still open on the drop shop.
He from years ago, his anointed hands and stuff had the hairdo that even made Muhammad Ali ask me if he could touch my hair.
Uh-oh.
But anyway, he had blessed me financially, and I told him I was going to put it in service to for elevation of his business and his spiritual business. Also, a gentleman named Roland, another gentleman named James, I can't think his last name, that made some copies for me.
Shalom, nephew. Yeah.
For some insurance information.
Okay.
And, also
Shalom out.
Brother Mercedes Montgomery, and my grandson's birthday is today.
Happy Soul Day to the young ox. How old is he now?
I think he's 23.
Oh, there ain't no look. You got you got grown men grandson.
With 3 kids.
Oh well, he already starting early, huh? Fruitful and multiplying, is it?
Yeah, but anyway, today,
Yeah. That's wonderful, sis. We definitely get those prayers up. What you got, Sister Joyce?
I want to be brief. I just want to send prayers up to my neighbor. She passed away.
Your neighbor?
Her son, Jeff Sherry, was kind of sad, and I used to work for her. And another thing I want to let everybody know, I want to thank the Lord for doing tomorrow is 72.
72. Oh yeah. Hallelujah, sister. Got an Earth Day tomorrow.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was just
All
saying,
praise.
I thank the Lord for a good life.
Yeah.
A right mind, and know who I am, and I am so grateful.
And y'all heard that? The main thing she said, her right mind. Shalom, Elisha ben Israel. Her right mind at if the Lord will, 72 days old tomorrow. And also, y'all, just once again, shouts out. I didn't do this to the Tabernacle Committee for getting that done and getting that the heavy laboring and everything it took is often not said enough to the committee for all y'all do. Just thank y'all so much for sticking it out and grinding it out, y'all. Really appreciate that. And also shouts out to that Obed Ben Israel for getting that loading crew together, as well as that Leo, you know, that greatly assisted us, that Thomas, you know, with getting, and Brother G with getting that equipment out there as needed. So I want to just say shouts out to that. What you got to say?
I wanted to also add prayer for myself. A lot of the things that I'm still going through back to back on one thing.
For them vehicles, yeah.
And then something else happened with the house situation. And also for you all.
Thank you, sister. And we're going to go over that today, the sufferings and what our Messiah did for that. And also, y'all, shouts out to Ark Elisha over here. They portrayed his mural that he himself and his son did, the Tano on Channel 4. Outstanding work. Just want to send shouts out to Brother Elijah for that blessing the Most High gave him. What you got over there, Jock G?
Let me get your autograph, brother. No need, brother.
Yes, sir. So with that, what you got over there, too, by?
I push in the chat.
Yes, sir.
Shabbat Shalom, family.
Shalom, Mark Push.
I'm still on bed rest for the next couple of weeks, but I'm healing up great. Thanks for the prayers and one love, family.
Absolutely. All praises, Mark Push. Good to hear from you, bro.
All praises.
Huh? Oh, ginger tea. Oh, you like that, do you? Yes, sir.
Good for you.
With that, y'all, we're going to go ahead and get the lesson started. Let's two by what you got. Any questions out there?
That's exactly what
Go ahead.
Eddie Lemons starting off the class with a question. Can you explain to me why people were saying to eat his flesh and drink his blood is cannibalism? I sure hate to ask this question.
Well, that's just the naysayers that's saying that, because for what you have to do, they're listening to the words coming out of his mouth, not knowing the meaning.
Right.
Because did any of that take place? No. See, and what would have had to happen? He would have sliced his wrist and put the cup up under it. Right. He'd have bit off a finger and passed it around and say, everybody take a bite. That's right. No, but what he was doing is explaining the power of the blood. The blood is in the life, and he's life. Right. He's the true Messiah. He's the pure Lamb, the unblemished Lamb. Mm-hmm. And once we get into understanding the pure language and pure without blemish or stain, the Messiah, then you understand the language that we're talking about and why he knew his letters and the Pharisee doctors didn't. Right. They didn't know their letters. He's 12 years old, schooling them. All the way up to the point that he was crucified, he was explaining the letters of the Hebrew alphabet that make lawful words. If your Hebrew make unlawful words or it break the law, then you have a defiled language. I don't care because you call it Hebrew. We got threw out of the language for a defiled language. Go ahead, Elisha.
I just want to add also, because he also spake parables unto the non-believers.
Yes, sir.
And like he told his disciples when they asked him, why do you speak to the people in parables? He said it's not meant for everyone to know the mysteries of the kingdom of Yah.
Yeah.
But it is given unto you. So basically breaking down how many are called but few are chosen.
Yes, sir.
So even though everybody gets the word, only few are going to understand.
Right. So and another thing, let me just lamb back on for Sister Betty Lemons. Like in the book of Judges, 19th chapter, we got Jephthah, however you pronounce it, was a warrior of Israel. But his mother and father were not married. So his brothers and sisters that was in the mother and father marriage arrangement used to kind of mock him until them Philistines started putting their foot in Israel's rear end. So they come for that warrior whose mother was a harlot. Right. You understand? And he made a promise to God. He said, if you take care of us and win this battle, then I will make a sacrifice by fire. So when you're talking things that the Messiah is talking in parables, like Elijah said, he never made a fire sacrifice. What he was talking about is, I will offer my daughter to the church, to the assembly for life. That means she's going to be married to the gospel. She won't have a husband. And when you understand that as a burnt sacrifice, what he offered up, the first thing to come out of my house as a victory, and it was that virgin daughter. So then she goes off to bewail her virginity with her sisters, and that's just having a party saying, look, sister, we understand you'll never be married. We understand you're a handmaiden for the Lord for your life till you dead. So they bewailed her virginity, but that was the burnt offering. So it don't necessarily mean that he's going to cut himself and you drink. That's cannibalism. They crazy as hell. You know, that's what they're trying to do, is make you think that that practice goes in the Bible. What you would have to do would find it. And then the Messiah ordered them, and they cut themselves. And they lapped up the blood. You ain't seeing none of that. And then he cut off his thumb, and all of them took a bite of his flesh. No, because he tell you the blood is the grape. That symbolizes it. The bread is manna bread, unleavened bread. That's what I'm speaking of. That's what they broke. He said he broke the bread and gave to them. He said, take, eat. This is my body. This is what we're talking about. When people don't believe the Bible, they lead you down the path they want you to, instead of keep reading. If you keep reading, you'll see that it was just a parable. He wanted you to look at it, because you have to take on Christ. Right. You have to consume him so that the Holy Spirit will come into you. Right. Y'all understand? But they'll throw things out there like, oh, the Messiah, baby killer. If he asked you to kill your son, would you do it? And make us think that Isaac was a little toddler when Abraham took him out there and Isaac was 37 years old. Or the Messiah put him on the cross and he's 33 and a half years old. These are grown men able to make their own decisions.
Wanted to get on there.
Yeah, I wanted to get on there, but they flip it. Like he's putting a child like Yakanan's grandson over there, like he's got him. And then he's carrying his own wood. Right. See, so y'all, that's why we have to be careful of what's, people say tampered in the Bible. No, make them keep reading. Read the whole subject matter, and it clears itself up. We ain't got to add to it. I hope that answered the question for you, Sister Betty.
She said that. Yes, sir.
What else you got out there, too, Bob, before we get rolling? We got a few scripts. That's it, y'all. So let's get right to it. Pure language or deceptive speech. Lamb back and off of last class, you know, what we were speaking about, study to show yourself approved. Y'all, this is another thing. The language is the biggest thing once you find out you're an Israelite. They're basing it on how much Hebrew you know to determine where your study level is at. But they don't know it because they don't know they ABCs of the Hebrew. They're forming words of deception and law breaking. So we're going to get to the understanding when the language change came and at what time did the whole earth speak the same language, and when will they come back to speak in one language, the whole world. Now, if the Most High put us in a nation that said we would not know their language, we're going to have to learn. How are we going to call on them if we don't know what that language is? Right. What if they don't speak Hebrew? They don't speak Hebrew here. Right. What we speak here? English. What does 90% of planet Earth speak? English. Y'all, we ain't got time to play around with that Hebrew. That's trickery to keep you looking at somebody you think is a doctor, a master of linguistics. No. So y'all, let's get right to it. Y'all know how we do it. Our one and only high priest, after the order of Melchizedek, Yeshua HaMashiach, locally known as Jesus the Christ. He brings forth that spiritual law to every male, female, rich, poor, free bond, Jew, or Gentile. So to get this started, we want to first look up the definition of pure. So if this is pure, if his word is pure, it cannot go against the definition. See, we believe it from Genesis to Revelation, every verse, every word. If you don't believe it, scratch wholly off and quit carrying it around. Grab what you think is pure. And usually they try to make themselves pure because they end up writing a book. And it's plagiarized off the Bible, so it ain't pure. So they try to get everything watered down to everybody got faults, even the Messiah. Don't you ever say that.
Then you ain't pure.
Then you ain't pure in your mental. Right. Go ahead, Zed, what it say?
Pure, unmixed with any other matter.
What is it, Zed?
Unmixed with any other matter.
Yes, sir.
free from dust, dirt, or taint.
Free from dust, dirt, or taint, and that was the Messiah. If you say Joseph is his father, then that's impossible for him to be pure, because of how Joseph was born just like we are. He was born like Adam, who was pure, without sin. No stain of iniquity in his flesh. It couldn't corrupt. What are you talking? Go ahead. What does you had a little more? You got language.
I got language.
Go ahead and get language for us.
Language. The words, their pronunciation, and the methods of combining them used and understood by a community.
Yeah.
Audible, articulate, meaningful sounds as produced by the actions of the vocal organ.
And nowhere in this Bible does it say if you don't speak Hebrew, you can't understand what the Most High is telling you. If that's the case, we don't even have to worry about the law. We don't have to worry about nothing. You're like, I don't understand English, Lord. They won't teach Hebrew in school. Let me into the kingdom. It would be as simple as that, y'all. It would be as simple as that.
It ain't gonna be that simple.
Yeah, we know better than that. So y'all, let's just get right to it, because this is the key that what the problem gonna be. The repairer of the breach is on the line here. Who's the real son? See, and this is a good question we had last week. Bruh asked, how will we know that Israel is not the holy son? That's how we gonna frame this today. With that pure language, and let you see the pure son, who's Yahweh HaMashiach, locally known as Jesus the Christ, or the nation of Israel. We're going to do a pro and con today, and you're going to determine yourself in your own mind what son he talking about, and who's pure and who's been acting pure.
And if you think that wasabi is pure, no, it taint.
Yeah, they taint. Yeah, that's right. That's right. So y'all, let's get it. Matthew 24 and 22, because y'all, it's all about the repairer of the breach. The Antichrist gonna come and claim he's the repairer, and he's gonna deceive many. If it were possible, that's what we talk about. If, but it can't be possible to the elect, because they believe it from Genesis to Revelation. Y'all, if this Bible is tampered with, we don't have to worry about nothing. We can stand at Judgment Day and say, you allowed the devil to tamper with that. But the devil don't even play like that. The devil put everything out front, because he's after the lust of your flesh.
That's right.
I hear what your conscience say, but what does that lusty flesh want? Matthew 24, 22 to 25. Let's get it, y'all. Shalom, Agdi.
All right, family, we're going to be reading in the book of Matthew, chapter 24, and we're going to start the reading in verse 22.
Yes, sir.
Give everybody a second to get there. Is everybody there? Let's get some understanding, family. Verse 22. And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's
where
sake,
you at? Hold on. Matthew 24.
22.
Okay. Okay, you good. Go ahead.
The book of Matthew, chapter 24, and verse 22. And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. Then, if any man shall say unto you, Lo, here is Hamashiach.
Yes, sir.
Or there. Believe it not.
Do what?
Believe it not. For there shall arise false Christ and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders.
What shall they show?
Great signs and wonders.
So y'all get ready for the sky show. So we're not saying the devil ain't gonna have tricks that could fool you. If these little street magicians have you in all, you ain't seen nothing yet, because this finna be open spirituality. This gonna be greater than Balaam and Korah and Dathan now, throwing down their staff. This is the Antichrist. This is who Satan is calling his son. And he's delivering all power too.
Right.
Go ahead, bro.
In so much that, if it were possible.
If it were what?
If it were possible. They shall deceive the very elect.
It say they shall. So it's a whole group of them coming out here in different angles and different things. Y'all have to understand, anything you say that may be contrary to what the Bible's saying is, you have to explain what you feel the Bible is contrary or way to. It cannot be this verse such and such, because prophecy lined up like this. If you go get some, or you watch a video, if you see it, you have to still check with prophecy, because it cannot fail. If you see something different, it still has to line up with prophecy. See, we're going to remove this out of there, and when we put this in here from the video, it fulfills the prophecy. If it don't, we chasing the wind.
That's right.
What you got, sis?
Can you explain verse 22?
Verse 22. And except those days should be shortened. Yeah, because in Daniel it say, during the midtime, the Messiah was cut off halfway through his ministry, so to speak. And during the time of the Antichrist, the first 3.5 years is going to be good. You know, and the next time he finna get brutal, the killing going to start. The Messiah may have to shorten our days. You understand what I'm saying? And then it's sometimes he lengthens some of the days, because in the book of Daniel it say a lot of the people going to be cut off in 1,290 days. But those who make it to the 1,374 day, you got these blessings coming. So some people going to get through that tribulation and make it to this point. So, but the days are short. We got nuclear war. That's what he basically meaning. Because he said this going to be worse than the time of Noah was at the destruction of the flood, because we have nuclear war now. And what it means by that is they can start dropping nukes and there'll be no flesh saved on planet Earth.
Well, it says in
That's
verse 21,
what it say.
For then shall a great tribulation, such as was not seen since the beginning of the world.
Since the beginning of the world.
To this time, no, nor ever shall be.
So we're talking about Genesis chapter 1, verse 1 and 2, where it was bohu and tohu. Jeremiah 4, chapter 23 explained everything was completely wiped out and then reformed for Adam to take over the world, over planet Earth, so to speak. That's what it's saying. We're going back to when he had to recreate the day. That's what it's going to be like, because that's what it's going to be. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth, Isaiah 66. You know, the sun and the moon, we're going back to how the Garden of Eden was when Adam was created. That's what it's going back to. So those days will be shortened because of what they're trying to do. They're just going to start launching. Before we give it back, we'll just destroy planet Earth. Y'all, if a nuclear radiation leak like it did in Chernobyl in Russia, they say it'll take 20,000 years for anybody ever to breathe that oxygen over there. And that's from a leak. Now I want you to think, when they let it loose and that, you know, that wave from that nuclear bomb go out, radiation will burn your lungs up while you standing alive. You'll inhale it, and y'all, because ain't nothing we can do to breathe, can we? We don't want the mask no more. And I want you to think you would have to have on that mask that you breathe up, that one with them things on the side.
Respirator.
Every day. You can't never take it off because it's in the air. That's what it's talking about. They're going to try to bring it to those days that were, we'll just launch it before we give it back. And they're going to do a lot of damage. They're threatening now. North Korea threatening.
That's what I was just about. I'm
Yes,
sitting
sir.
there thinking that, and I'm like, didn't they just launch a missile that
Yeah.
would reach here?
Yeah.
And shot it out into, and didn't they just send a bunch of troops over to Russia?
Russia? Yes, sir.
Like 3,000?
Yes, sir.
So they finna get in that war.
And you got Kim Jong mentally ill. And he's just talking about just letting loose.
Right.
He don't care. At this point, they saying, look, we already on dog food, so we ain't going no lower than that. Well, yes, you are, if you start pushing them buttons and want to end, because technically you're playing God.
Yeah.
He started it, but I'm going to end it. Okay? That's what Lucifer thought. That's it, sister. Hope that answers your question. Days are being shortened, but you'll get into the book of Daniel as well. Also in 2nd Ezra 2, kind of get into that as well. But let's get to the next scripture, Ephesians 5, 6 through 10. And y'all, what we're setting up is, who is the pure Christ? Because that's what it's coming down to, because that's the repairer of the breach. If you think your high priest and he got a prescription and diabetes or something, and that's your high priest, that's the pure one you're calling pure.
Right.
Or like that Jermaine Grant was calling himself the Holy Spirit. And he's got diabetes and a prescription in his pocket.
For them bumps on his
Well, boy, look here. And you want to be somebody's food then. You dying to be somebody's food. This individual walk in the room and they say general on deck, everybody stand up. Come on now, y'all know better than that. Y'all done seen what a general's supposed to look like when we watch Full Metal Jacket. That shirt, them buttons supposed to be lined up with his belt buckle and then lined up with the zipper of his pants.
It's called the gig line.
What is it called there?
The gig line.
The gig line. I'm talking about that dude was almost 60 years old and could run 10 miles. And here he come in, he don't even know if he got on mixed max shoes. His stomach is big. You talking about general on deck. And they had a video out there where they had a training video. Talking about y'all soldiers now. Boy, they had them running through alleys. They was knocking over trash cans. One dude running in a pair of church shoes. And when they get down to the monkey bars, they breathe like, sucking all the oxygen out of New York.
That would be tainted.
And then he tell them, y'all some soldiers now.
Tainted soldiers.
Boy, look here.
Tainted.
Who you gonna fight in church shoes and can't make it down the alley? Boy, you can't fight in church shoes. Ephesians 5, y'all. That's what we talking about. Want to be somebody's food. Dying to believe a lie. You know damn well he ain't no general. What general like that ain't in shape?
General Mills.
Boy, General Mills. Boy, we talked about that time, didn't we? Go ahead, bro. Ephesians 5.
All right, family, we're going to be reading in the book of Ephesians, chapter 5. And we'll start the reading in verse 6. Need a second to get that.
Yeah.
Give me a second there.
Yes, sir. Y'all, this ain't hard. It ain't grievous, y'all. It's not. This is easy work, like he said. He said, my yoke ain't hard, y'all. Go ahead.
The book of Ephesians, chapter 5 and verse 6. It reads, let no man deceive you with vain words.
See, with vain words, the words they done put together, they're empty, they're fruitless. If they try to convince you, you shouldn't say Jesus because it's a J and wasn't no J in the Hebrew alphabet.
Right.
Wasn't no A, E, I, O, and U in there either.
Right.
Go ahead.
For because of these things cometh the wrath of Yah upon the children of disobedience.
Uh-huh.
Be not ye therefore partakers with them. For ye were sometimes darkness, but now are ye light in the Most High.
Yes, sir.
Walk as children of light.
Walk as children of light. How you going to walk in pure light and you're saying it's possible,
right.
It may not turn on this time? You say it's 1,000 watts and you only getting refrigerator light. If you say this tampered with, how you gonna get the full illumination?
Right.
I'm talking about where you have a spotlight where it get late into working on your car and you have to go get that spotlight. Can you even compare that to what sunlight offers when you're working on a car? No. Sunlight gets all up under it. You see behind things. Mm-hmm. That's what sun, and he's 10,000 times that in his strength. Mm-hmm. And you want to water that down to a refrigerator like talk about tampering and hold it in under your arms like you really got something going on. What you got, Emo?
You know, I was reading and I was so excited when I called and I said, but then were you aware that the scriptures saying that when Adam and Eve were in the garden, it was 365,000 times greater than the sun?
Yeah. It was that light. It was that light because he's in the midst of it. Say the same thing in Revelation chapter 21 and 22. There's no need for the sun or the moon. For the Messiah is there, the tree of life. He's the light thereof.
Yes.
He's the light that was in Genesis 1 and 1 and 1 and 2. That light for the first 3 days because the sun and the moon weren't created till the fourth day. What is that light the other 3 days? Let's read some more.
Verse 9.
Yeah.
For the fruit of the Spirit is in all goodness.
What is it in?
In all goodness and righteousness and truth.
The fruit of the Spirit. If you say it's tampered with, it can't be that. then you got a rotten spot on her.
Right.
It could be a worm come out of this somewhere with the statements you saying. Who you think you gonna do? Can you give somebody an apple and you turn it to that brown spot? You want to bite? What they gonna do? That brown spot in the apple, you know that it's a worm in there or something, or that's rotten, and they turn that part to you. You want to bite? No, right. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 10.
Yeah.
Proving what is acceptable unto the Most High.
What do we have to prove?
What is acceptable unto the Most High.
Go ahead, read that next verse.
Verse 11.
Yeah.
And have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather reprove
Now,
them.
it says no fellowship. That means to come into allegiance with. Can you know a Muslim? Yeah, we got cousins who thought we was Muslims before they found out about script. Parents could have been raised in the Muslim doctrine.
Right.
You reprove them, but you can't go to the mosque with them. Well, brother, I went down to class with y'all. Can you go up to the mosque with me? No, I can't go up there with you. You were here to get reproved. I can't go up there and fellowship with you and water the Messiah down. See, we had some Negroes come around here with that seduction and eased in that doctrine that, okay, if we go out together, how this the question, how can two walk together unless they agree? He agreed that when I teach this day, you won't mention, because you standing out here with me, of the virgin birth, and I'll tell of Joseph being his father. And when it's your turn, I won't mention Joseph. What kind of confusion is that, y'all? That's what the Pharisee get, and it was Pharisee work. Accept your righteousness, exceed the righteousness of the Pharisee. Don't look for this kingdom that this talking about. You'll get their kingdom.
Read that verse 12.
And we know what their kingdom talking about. Go ahead, read that verse 12.
12 and 13.
12 and 13.
The book of
Verse
Ephesians.
14. Back to this.
Yeah.
The book of Ephesians, chapter 5 and verse 12.
Yeah.
For it is a shame even to speak of those things which are done of them in secret. But all things that are reproved are made manifest.
What are they made?
They're made manifest by the light. For whatsoever doth make manifest is light.
And that means say it out front. Can't have all them secret extortion tapes and videos you're hiding and bringing your own brother down. If this your brother, I hate to see what the hell you do with an enemy.
Right.
I'm going to fellowship with that.
And that means to come into allegiance with. Go ahead, what else it say?
Verse 14. Wherefore he saith, awake thou that sleepest, and arise from the dead, and Hamashiach shall give thee life.
That's what we're talking about. It's only one pure son. And when those who believe Israel is the son, technically in their mental, they don't believe in the Messiah. Y'all understand? They don't believe. Guess who they'll accept over the Messiah? They'll accept David's behavior and call him the Messiah. But then can't explain what David said in Psalm 110. The Lord said to my Lord, sit thou on my right hand.
He was talking in the third person.
He talking in the third person, okay. Well, we need to get the third person front and center.
Right, no doubt.
And ask the third person.
Right.
Did you say this?
The third person is
Yeah.
the present.
Right. Galatians chapter 6, verse 7 and 8, y'all. Y'all, and I want y'all to understand the process of the Passover before the Messiah came. It took 2 weeks to go over that lamb. To sacrifice the red heifer, it took longer. I'm talking about going over with a fine-tooth comb and a magnifying glass. If they found one, just a spot of white hair, you know, like somebody you know that's older, but they still got black, man, your hair's still black. And then you may see one little speck. You like, is that a speck? Or if they found one like that, that was discounted. Yet, they want to put stain on the Messiah and say he was born, his mother had the hots for Joseph.
But like Jake say, and you and Jake say all the time, man, they worse than even the demons.
Sure is, man. The demons won't even go there.
They won't even.
They won't even go to them
levels. They won't
levels.
deny the truth of Messiah.
And they never said nothing about his mom.
Yeah.
What you got, bro?
So are they in conflict with Exodus 4, 22 and 23?
What that say? 4 and 20.
I said, and thou shalt say unto Pharaoh, thus saith Yahweh, Israel is my son, he is my firstborn.
Right.
So these naysayers are in conflict with the Messiah and what he's saying right here.
Well, there's a difference in when he's talking about his spiritual son and his fleshly son. He's talking to Pharaoh, who's flesh. He's talking about his spiritual son, which is Israel, the 12 tribes, that's loaded up with Egyptology doctrine, the ways of the world. So at that point, he's only talking to him, I got to free him from what you got him trapped in. But I can only do that with my son that has no blemish. My son. Then that's the son of men that you have hold of, Pharaoh. I gotta free them so that they can listen to my son and get the understanding, because he's their leader. He's their captain of the host. He takes his orders from me and give it to y'all. That son of Peter, who was an Israelite, when the Messiah asked him, who do men say I am? And he told him, he said, but you, Peter, the Israelite, who do you say I am? Peter didn't say you one of us. He said, you're the Christ. You're the son of the living God. And he didn't say, and so is the rest of us 11 down here. So y'all, but we're going to clear that up on the pro and con side. We're going to show you why the nation of Israel can't be the spiritual Israel until we come to fruition up here and become totally spiritual. Right now we chasing flesh, y'all. We chasing fringes. We chasing debate contests online for $20. Y'all, we chasing the wind. It's like a dog chasing his tail. He gonna get dizzy. Let's get some more. Where we at? Finish that. Galatians chapter 6, verse 7 and 8.
Can we start at 1?
We can start at 1. Down to 8. Let's get it.
Galatians chapter 6, verse 1.
Yeah.
Brethren, if any man be overtaken in a fault.
In a what?
In a fault. Ye which are spiritual.
Ye who are what?
Spiritual. Restore such an one in the spirit of meekness, considering thyself, lest thou also be tempted.
See, and how these Pharisees out here doing it now, they're brothers, but they go into war with each other over fault. Right. You said this to my woman, you said that to my woman, and they're not overcoming them with the spirit of meekness. What they're doing is they're exposing every secret that they know about this individual who you allowed in your house as a guest, but while he was guessing in your house, he's taking pictures. Click up.
And recording.
Click up.
Recording,
and you don't know. And then they go to war with that type of foolishness, but they call themselves brother. Let the very next thing come out of their mouth. But you was my brother. How was I your brother and all this extortion going on?
Right. That ain't brotherhood, that's falsehood.
That's falsehood. And they saying brother, and they say we ought to be part of that. No. This script don't tell you that because you Israel, because you skin folk don't mean you kinfolk. Right. Kinfolk is in the spirit of Israel. First, let's get some more.
Verse 2.
Yeah.
Bear ye one another's burdens.
What we got to do?
Bear ye one another's burdens. And so fulfill the law of Christ.
Who law we fulfilling?
The law of Christ.
Go ahead.
For if a man think himself to be something when he is nothing, he deceiveth himself.
Who do he deceive?
Only himself.
He ain't fooling us. Boy, we know you ain't no great one. What you say you doing? Yeah. How is you saying this the perfect diet and your jaws ain't shrinking? Lack of food, shalom sis. Lack of food causes weight loss. Right. If you still looking like Dizzy Gillespie about the jowls midway through one of his concerts, who you fooling? You deceiving yourself. If you keep saying something tastes like chicken and it's not chicken, you're deceiving yourself. Right. You want to make your form of chicken, but it's made out of another substance. It's not chicken. No. It can't reproduce as chicken.
Ain't that what they would have with tofu lamb?
Boy, look here. Tofu lamb. Smell like a toe and some kung fu mixed together. It ain't lamb. We ain't lamb on tabernacles.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, bro.
Verse 4.
Yeah.
But let every man prove his own work.
What every man got to do?
Prove his own work. And then shall he have rejoicing in himself alone, and not in another.
Boy, that was good. You went back on that, Zeb. Yeah, absolutely, y'all. Y'all see this? That's how you get joy. And it started off brethren. It didn't start off with no hierarchy or general on deck. It said brethren. This how you get down. Y'all get into one another. Go to the record and straighten this matter out. And it's fault. It'll say sin is fault. And a lot of times faults are my bad, bro. Fault leads to things. It may not necessarily reach the lines of sin, but fault goes over into sin if it's not corrected.
That's right.
Let's get some more.
For every man shall bear his own burden.
What he gonna do?
Bear his own burden.
That's the same thing. Ezekiel 14 and 14 and Ezekiel 14 and verse 20 says the same exact thing. You can't get nobody else in. Right. So it would behoove you to learn this for yourself and be satisfied in your heart that if judgment day came today, I believe I'm good on what I believe, because I know at judgment day I won't be able to say, well, Lord, what he said.
Right. You can't co-sign for me?
No co-signer. The co-signer is the Messiah. And he's got to tell the Father he's good with me. He's brother. Let's get some more.
Verse 6.
Yeah.
Let him that is taught in the word communicate unto him that teacheth in all good things.
Y'all see that? Teacheth in all good things, not tampering, not conflict, not chaos. Go ahead.
Verse 7.
Yeah.
Be not deceived.
There it is again.
Be not deceived. Yahweh is not mocked. For whatsoever man soweth, that shall he also reap. For he that soweth to his flesh shall of the flesh reap corruption.
What he gonna reap?
Corruption.
See, that's why in those corruptible doctrine, death is always on the table. They're trying to explain their death away, but you can't. It's corruptible flesh, and you're uplifting corruptible flesh over your spirit. Right. Gonna cause a problem, y'all. You put death before living. Go ahead.
But he that soweth to the Spirit shall of the Spirit reap life everlasting.
That's what we're trying to reap, y'all. So that's what we have to practice. We have to get off that felony list. Ezekiel 18, 1 Corinthians 6 and 9. We must get off that felony list at all costs, y'all. Read that felony list, but don't just read it and just say, and picture in your mind what it means. Go to every one of those felonies and Google it, whatever you got to do, and say, what does this word mean? It's going to give you a flesh side, and it's going to give you a spiritual side of that felony list. The flesh side going to tell you your flesh is already in danger of death. But if you let it get to this spiritual side, that's going to be everlasting death. Y'all understand what I'm saying? So Google every word, get your dictionary, every word on that felony list, and then you will know that felony. So if somebody try to introduce you to that felony, you know how to stay away from it. If you run into P. Diddy and he got something in his hand like this, or P.O. Cosby, and they say, drink this. Don't you drink that.
You run into P. Diddy, you already locked up.
Boy, look here, boy. What'd you say, you already? Go ahead, bro. Yes, sir.
You already in a bad place.
So, y'all, let's get right to where this language question came up so that we get past this foolishness, y'all, and understand we speak English. How you going to let somebody speak one word of Hebrew to you and then explain 10,000 words in English? Right. What are they speaking then? What's their dominant language, even though they say in Hebrew? Ban Yahawada, Yahawashah, Ahuya, Ahuwa. And then what that mean? Or they're just saying, man, you know, the Messiah, you know, he was born Hebrew of the seed of David. Why didn't you just say that? You just had to say it anyway. And this go by pay and tell her. We had one time out, she won't say JC. I mean, she won't say Jesus Christ. She say JC. I said, if I ask you what JC mean, what you gonna tell me? Jesus Christ. Well, you got to say it anyway.
John Connor.
Yeah.
We had one come over our house. Brittany was doing his friend her, and he kept saying, "Don't say JC to me." We had just came from Bible class. Don't be saying JC to me. Don't say JC to me. Get loud in my house.
Who is JC?
So I got up and went in there.
Yeah.
And I say, what about my grandmother who 80? And all she knows is Jesus.
Yeah.
I'm gonna talk to her. He said she got to get up to speed.
Uh-oh.
So soon as he said that, I rattled off a Hebrew sentence.
Yeah.
And he couldn't tell me what the hell
No,
I
he didn't
said.
know what you were saying. He was sitting there scratching, Lord help me. Lord help me. And y'all know where y'all else to see it at? When them Hebrews was on, the One West boys was on Martin Downey's show.
Oh, yeah.
And Martin Downey said some things in Hebrew. And he said, I'm going to speak some Hebrew to y'all. And he rattled off some things. And that false prophet Ariel, they was looking at each other like, boy, you got a clue what he's saying? He like, no, I ain't got a clue. Do we have our clue? Do we have our clue man in the audience? Clue man ain't here. Did he rattle it off and say, no, you speaking Yiddish. Here's the Hebrew. No, they looking around like we wasn't expecting that. We thought this was going to be an English contest.
Right.
Let's get this next scripture, y'all. Genesis 11:1, y'all. And we're going to see what happened. Because up into Adam to now, the world was still one language. You ain't never see he spoke to Cain after he left in a different language, his offspring. Did he talk to the wicked, his offspring, in any different language? What language did he tell Satan them when he threw them out of heaven? What language was that? You know what language it was? You broke the law. And you're the clay trying to tell the potter what to do. Get out of my house. Get out of my house. You and your partners, get out of my house. And they had to get going, didn't they?
Immediately.
Let's get it, y'all. Genesis 11:1.
Genesis chapter 11, verse 1.
Because we ain't had no language change up to this time.
And the whole earth was of one language and of one speech.
What language was that? Because it's still the same language since the Garden of Eden that was given to Adam. Some will say, well, okay, it was Hebrew. I don't care what you say. Even if you say, let's go with Hebrew. But when we keep reading, that's going to alter your thought process. Let's get some more. Go ahead.
Verse 2.
Now, let me say this again about that. That means then that the earth was of one language. That means that everybody got off the ark was speaking the same language. Ham, Shem, and Japheth were all speaking the same language, and Noah taught them the law. So that's the language that they were speaking, the law.
That's right.
All of them had the law when they got off the ark. The whole world had to conform to God's law. They didn't get their own, okay, now this is your doctrine, you can go up to the land of Ham. This is your doctrine, you can go to the Isles of the Gentile. Shem, this is your doctrine, is Hebrew. No, all of them spoke the same language. Let's read some more. What else to say?
Verse 2.
Yeah.
And it came to pass, as they journeyed from the east, that they found a plain in the land of Shinar.
Yeah.
And they dwelt there. And they said one to another, go to, let us make brick, and burn them thoroughly.
Yeah.
And they had brick for stone, and slime had they for mortar.
Uh-huh.
And they said, go to, let us build us a city and a tower, whose top may reach unto heaven.
Yes, sir.
And let us make us a name, lest we be scattered abroad upon the face of the whole earth.
So you see what they doing in one language? They saying, let us make a name. Well, if you got the language, then you got the name. But the name is finna be a different God.
Right.
We finna speak a different language together to another God. We finna get into the book of shadows. We can finna get into Freemasonry 101. We finna speak another name in one language.
So see, in that, Nimrod had already started setting up his campaign.
Yes, sir. Yeah, he did. He was a ruler on earth. Nimrod. He already saying, look, I want y'all to speak my language.
Yep.
Let's get some more.
Because he was a mighty hunter.
Yes, sir.
And bigger than everybody. He was a big boy.
And we'll put you down.
Yeah, quick.
Let's get it.
Verse 5.
Yeah.
And the Lord came down to see the city and the tower, which the children of men built.
And that wasn't the Father that got off the throne. It was just like he sent the angels and the Messiah to go see Sodom and Gomorrah. Go down there and see what they're doing. I can smell it up here. I smell sin up here. That's how bad Sodom and Gomorrah had got. You think it stink in the French quarters and how they say over there in L.A. where the stars at? No, what the Father, this stench reached up to heaven. That type of funk. And it's that type of funk you'll see in a Tyler Perry movie. See, what Tyler Perry is doing is showing you their lifestyle. It's not imagination made up. It's their lifestyle of the rich, the powerful, and the can't tell you nothing group. This how we get down. Do as thou will. We don't care nothing about no laws of God. If I want your woman, you give her to me. That's what you came to the party for. How you gonna save and you know what the party say? We share. But when you get into the book of Jasher, the 18th and 19th chapter, you're gonna see this old work. A man would put his virgin daughter and his wife and say he wouldn't open his mouth, not say a word. For 2 weeks they went at it. We looking at Puffy for a weekend and he have to get rehydrated. He couldn't even get to him and his mama. Yeah, his mama was sitting there getting rehydrated. Y'all, but this old work, y'all. But we're seeing the days of Sodom and Gomorrah. Y'all, that's the language we learned when we got kicked out of Jerusalem. How to fornicate at the highest level possible. Everybody was singing Me and Mrs. Jones. Everybody. Let's get some more.
Verse 6.
Yeah.
And the Lord said, behold, the people is one, and they have all one language. And this they began to do, and now nothing will restrain from them, which they have imagined to do. Go to, let us go down, and there confound their language, that they may not understand one another's speech.
Because you're not going to do wickedness in the name of the Most High. You're not going to use his language to do one thing. So when they said, let us get us our own name, he said, go down there and confound my speech from them. I don't want them communicating wickedness in the language from the God. Go down there and confound them, because that's what they're doing. They're going to use his Hebrew name or whatever language you say was in the God. They're going to use this, but for my practice. It's like little Dickie Shepherd say, well, Yahweh means Baal. Y'all understand what I'm saying? So they'll flip them words. Well, Lord means Baal. Master means Baal. Just flipping words on you to make you think you serving the devil, and it's in the Bible. So that's in the Bible tampered with. Yeah. No, Lord means master, exactly what it's saying. Somebody that's above me, your supervisor above you. The president of this nation is above you. Only in the sense of we're talking about power and supremeness. Go in there with nothing in your hand. Go in there with a pick stuck in your afro and some Dickies and some Chuck Taylors on, and see how far you get talking about I need to talk to the president.
Right.
Let's get some more.
This way, sir.
This way, sir. Yeah.
Yeah, they take it down to the dark.
Yeah.
Verse 8.
Yeah.
So the Lord scattered them abroad from thence upon the face of all the earth. And they left off to build the city. Therefore is the name of it called Babel.
So the Most High say, I'm a trip y'all language up. Y'all ain't gonna even understand what y'all saying to each other, because wickedness is not going to understand wickedness. It's all gonna be Babel. Y'all understand what I'm saying? That's why the dark side battle the dark side. You understand? Each one of them is trying to get ahead on their darkness. Right. I'll pee on a 12-year-older. I'll do this to a 12-year-older. So they're all trying to get above in their wickedness of the language of the Most High, what he hate the most. He hate touching children. He hate you going to another God because he's jealous. He hates that, and that's what they thrive on. He hates pride. But they'll get a rainbow that surrounds the throne and the covenant he made with Noah, and drag that on a flag and wrap it between their legs and buttocks and rub it like a towel drying off. And take his righteousness and turn it into that. and then say it's all because of pride from our leader Lucifer, who got thrown out about what?
Pride.
Who had a question? Go ahead, sis.
I was going to say there's an app called Babel.
An app called Babel?
Where you learn a different.
Yeah, different language or other things. See, but what he was doing is breaking them up where they could communicate. It's the same way with bad behavior on the streets. You say we together, but then you're gonna end up because the rules are not fellowship type of rules. They every man for himself type of rules. How you gonna have don't tell on me, and you ain't tested this man's? You're testing his flesh. You ain't tested his consciousness when they get him in that first 48-hour room. I don't care how many people he done killed on the street. He don't want to go to the penitentiary. Nicky Barnes was telling.
Right.
All of them was telling.
Sammy the Bull.
Sammy the Bull Gravano was telling.
Misery loves company.
Ain't no such thing as no snitching in a street vibe. And it ain't no such thing called no snitching in the Bible, because it tells you if you see something happening
Tell not.
and you don't tell and you don't warn the people, how am I going to tell you the guy next door broke in your house? I can't go out of town because guess who coming in my house?
Yep, he coming to you next.
We got to cut this coming in your house out while you going off the block.
Right.
Let's go in
Come on,
Stanley's
we got
back.
your shirt
What Debo say?
Boy,
Stanley gone. Let's go in the back.
let's go in the back. Yeah.
I ain't going nowhere.
And look at here, and boy, and you follow somebody with a pair of drawers on like that, you have to see the movie to know what we're talking about. It was a skid mark scene that we can't go into detail on. Go ahead, and this your leader. Go ahead, bro.
Therefore is the name of it called Babel, because the Lord did there confound the language of all the earth, and from thence did the Lord scatter them abroad upon the face of all the earth.
So, and then he starts to get into, now I done broke them down to nations. Then Hebrew gonna be for the Hebrew people. Greek gonna be for the Greek people. But it's scattered, and you're gonna have to, and what will happen, the Holy Spirit will come in and teach you the language of the Greek. The Holy Spirit will come in and teach you the language of the Chinese so that you can get God's light to them in that Bible so that they could come back and then we could all speak one language. But we first have to all in every different language accept the pure Messiah. If you don't, that's why in those Gideon books they have John 3:16 in every language on earth. And y'all, at this point, we're talking about 70 languages that rule planet Earth. It comes down to 70, y'all. We had 70 elders. 70 is significant of what we're talking about. But Babel was broke into 70 languages. And all of them, it didn't say, and you'll never be able to call on God in this. But what you won't be able to do in that strange language is to get together with all the other language and commit evil continually again. That ain't gonna never happen. It ain't gonna never happen. Who had a question back there? Y'all good? Got one, two back?
Yeah, Tubaya in the chat asks, Elder, is it important to know about and understand the Roman Catholic Church? How you pronounce that over here?
Ecumenical.
What is that?
Council.
Is that some kind of prayer or rubbing on rosary beads, or what does Eka something mean?
They said it's a council.
Yeah, ecumenical councils.
What does that? I'm still trying to figure out the word ecumenical.
You gotta look it up.
Yeah, that's what we're saying. See, and that's how we have,
can read
before
it.
we, or everything else I'm guessing. Well, it sound like to me, he talking about it sound like economics, so it sound like the language of somebody that's got a job. Is that?
That
that it?
good. That sounds good.
That sound good enough, y'all.
We
Then
gonna go
we gonna
back.
go with
No,
that.
they
We
getting
gonna go
money.
with that.
They
Yeah, they
getting
get money. Okay, that's the language. But tell us what it is, too, Bob.
I'm looking it up now.
And y'all, we're going to the book of Jasher, so we get to explain a little bit more of what we was talking about, the 70 languages that rule earth. Jasher is going to go into detail with Joseph and his interpretation, you know, and how he was able to ascend to Pharaoh's throne. You got it right there, sis?
Yes.
Hold on, I think sis got it. What did it say, sis?
I'm going to spell it.
Okay.
It's ECUMENICAL.
Yep.
It's got to be, what the definition say? Who looking it up? Oh, okay.
Representing a number of different Christian churches.
Okay, so you're talking about Kojic. No, all that means, bro, is that this is Revelation 18. This is the whore that sitteth upon many waters. The Catholic Church is responsible for every other doctrine on earth. Religion, so to speak. Yeah. It's the largest church. It has the most members. And not only that, it's its own state. Yes. If the Pope came here to St. Louis, Joe Biden got to come here. Yes. Just like Bill Clinton had to come here when the Pope came here down on Lindell. The president must meet him. Even though he's just the head of a church of state, he's like a president. Yeah. And he must be met. He's the head of all this because Protestants didn't agree with the Catholics, so they protested. That's what Protestants. Yeah. And then you get Methodists, and then you get Baptists. They like, well, we look at baptism different from that. We don't want to look at it like the sacrament eating the bread. We want to look at it as baptism. And then you get First Baptist Church, and then you get, I'm waiting to see the last Baptist Church.
It don't matter, they all.
And then you just get Jehovah's Witness, and what they're doing is taking one event out of the Bible and they build a church out of it. Right. What you got?
The Pope is a king, man.
He's definitely the king of that nation, of the papal, of what we should say, of that doctrine.
Yeah, he's the king of the religions, because all ambassador of every religion must come out and meet him and kiss his ring.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
They show their solidarity to him.
See, he's the king of the Council of Nicaea. That has nothing to do with these scriptures.
Right.
That's Christianity. Right. We're Christ's followers. It's a difference. Christ's followers follow the Holy Bible. Christ's followers don't follow Christianity. That's the Council of Nicaea. They have their own rules. They have canons that they read from. And those churches have what's called a church, what do you call that thing? Church covenant. And they don't have the 10 Commandments up because they say the law is done away with. They'll have the church covenant up of every church. We agree that there'll be no talking while the pastor is talking. If you go to the bathroom, one finger up and tip lightly. It's your own rules, but in the meantime, they saying those laws are done away with. So y'all understand the whore that sitteth upon many waters. That's basically the Eucharium. Did I say that right?
No.
Okay. Well, that's that EU word that they were talking about. Now, let's get caught up, y'all, because we got a few scripts I want to hit real quick. Jasher chapter 48, verse 43. And y'all, these languages were still scattered. And Pharaoh didn't know them all. And he was king of planet Earth at the time. And pharaohs used to be kings until they had a female, and that's where it kind of switched to Pharaoh then. Then that meant it could be male or female king, so to speak. But all pharaohs at one point were only male. They were only kings. Male kings, so to speak. And when they allowed women to come in, it switched to Pharaoh. But let's get into the book of Jasher, and we're going to see the king, because he sat on a throne so high. His throne was on 70, it was on the 71st step. Anybody that could speak all language, every time you can speak a language, you move up a step. Nobody could get past step 3.
You said Jasher what?
Jasher 48, and we're going to start about verse 43. And y'all, we're going to see that Joseph was given the Holy Spirit by the Most High to interpret all languages. And he was sent and he was taught. Y'all, he didn't learn it by himself. Spiritual came to teach him all the language. And it wasn't so that he could get together with nobody. It was to show Pharaoh the power of the Most High. You think you the big dog on earth, but you can't even know the 70 language, what you requiring a man to do to come and talk to you personally. Mm-hmm. Jasher chapter 48. Verse 43. Y'all go back and read a little bit more of this, but we just getting right to the heart of the matter. And we're told in 2 Samuel 1:18 and Joshua 10:13, study out of the book of Jasher. It's right here, referred to in Joshua 10:1-3, 2 Samuel 1:18, and 2 Timothy 3. This is the book of Jasher. But guess what it has to do? It can't break law. And that's the only measuring stick we can have in it. If it breaks law, we got to get rid of this version. It's not the right version. It's breaking law. The language in it is bad if it breaks law. But it don't break law. Let's get it. Jasher
48 and 43.
Yes, sir. Who got it?
And the throne upon, everybody there? And the throne upon which the king sat.
Hold on, Elijah. Let me just say this before you get on.
Okay.
If y'all start at verse 26, but for time's sake, we got to move through a few scriptures. Y'all start at verse 26 on this, and you're going to see what the king requests. We're just getting right to the heart of the subject matter. Go ahead, Elijah.
Okay.
43.
And the throne upon which the king sat was covered with gold and silver, and with onyx stones, and it had 70 steps.
How many steps it had?
70 steps.
Uh-huh.
And it was their custom throughout the land of Egypt that every man who came to speak to the king, if he was a prince or one that was estimable in the sight of the king, he ascended to the king's throne as far as the 31st step.
So you couldn't get high. Y'all understand how this is the same thing in Freemasonry. Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
We say this to the 30th, 31st, and 32nd degree. See, y'all, it's all tied into ancient Egypt. That's why the Messiah said, you want to run back down to Egypt? Egypt going to be your shame. It was shameful for the king sitting on the throne. He can't interpret what's troubling him at night.
Right.
Let's get some more.
And the king would descend to the 36th step and speak with him. If he was one of the common people...
So those were nobles and high-ranking people at first. Remember, these are high-ranking.
If he was a prince or one that was estimable.
Yeah, now we're getting down to regular folk. We're getting down to regular folk. Go ahead, Elisha, verse 45.
If he was one of the common people, he ascended to the 3rd step, and the king would descend to the 4th and speak to him. And their custom was, moreover, that any man who understood to speak in all the 70 languages, he ascended the 70 steps, and went up and spoke till he reached the king. And any man who could not complete the 70, he ascended as many steps as the languages which he knew to speak in. And it was customary in those days in Egypt that no one should reign over them, but who understood to speak in the 70 languages. And when Joseph came before the king, he bowed down to the ground before the king.
So respect those in high authority. That don't mean you'll never see the word and he worshipped.
No.
Go ahead.
And he ascended to the 3rd step. And the king sat upon the 4th step and spoke with Joseph. And the king said unto Joseph, I dreamed a dream.
What did he say, Elisha?
I dreamed a dream. And there is no interpreter to interpret it properly.
But see, that's why we get in verse 26. That's why I want you to start at verse 26. And you're going to see he called his wise men. He said, y'all that I got on the payroll, my magicians, my sorcerers, y'all that I got on my payroll, this is what I dreamed and I can't remember. They like, hell, we don't know. He said, what I'm paying y'all for. Let's get some more likes.
And let me hit 49 again.
Okay.
And the king said unto Joseph, I dreamed a dream, and there is no interpreter to interpret it properly. And I commanded this day that all the magicians of Egypt and the wise men thereof should come before me, and I related my dreams to them. And no one was properly interpreted them to me. No one has properly interpreted them to me.
So we're going to hold it. Y'all can read the whole thing. We're going to go on right over to chapter 49. And we're going to pick it up in verse 14.
Chapter 49, verse 14.
Yeah, y'all read everything in between, y'all. We just have to hit it. But the subject matter going to lead you up to it.
And the angel roused him from his sleep.
Who he roused?
The Pharaoh.
No. Hold on. Let me see. Where you want to bag it up?
No, Joseph.
I tell you, bag it up to...
13. At least 13.
13, yeah.
Okay.
And on that night, the Most High sent one of his ministering angels.
Who he saying?
A ministering angel.
Y'all see how the Most High always sends a representative. Why would you get off the throne? What did he create people for? I mean, why does he have a host around him? Is that just company? He don't want to be alone?
Right.
No, they go do the work.
He got a myriad of angels.
Boy, look here. You think Obama went and got Bin Laden? But he got the credit for it, didn't he?
Right.
He was sitting in the Oval Room. He like, oh, they got him. Oh, they shot him right in the head.
In the decision room.
In the decision room. Yeah. But who get the glory? Yeah. Let's get some more.
And on that night, the Most High sent one of his ministering angels And he came into the land of Egypt unto Joseph. And the angel of the Most High stood over Joseph, and behold, Joseph was lying in the bed at night in his master's house in the dungeon. For his master had put him back into the dungeon on account of his wife.
Now you see that? He called him out. He heard he was good, but he still ain't forgot.
Right.
My wife accused you of trying to get at her.
Right.
He like, well, look, I heard about you, but you may be a me and Mrs. Jones type of Hebrew. We done heard about y'all, so you going back down where you come from. I heard about your fame, but I can't trust you.
Right.
Get some more.
Around my womb.
Yeah.
Every night I gotta prove my love.
You gotta prove my love. Yeah. Go ahead.
And the angel roused him up from his sleep.
Yeah.
And Joseph rose up and stood upon his legs. And behold, the angel of the Most High was standing opposite to him. And the angel of the Most High spoke with Joseph. And he taught him all the languages of man in that night.
What did he teach him in that night?
All the languages of man in that night, which were 70 languages.
Yeah.
And he called his name Jehoshaphat.
Yeah.
And the angel of the Most High went from him, and Joseph returned and lay upon his bed, and Joseph was astonished at the vision which he saw.
See, so every time you have, like we say, a supernatural intervention, there's a name change, like Abram to Abraham, Sarah to Sarah, or the other way, Sarah to Sarah. And now Joseph, it puts an O in there to show you an intervention of a supernatural vision. So now Joseph is an apostle at this point. You're known by a different name up in the heavens. Maybe similar, but we changed it up here. Versus your boys changing your name in the street, or you get a name from a Hebrew around here. You understand what I'm saying? This is a spiritual. Go ahead.
His name in the book of the heavens.
Yes, sir. It's in the book of life. Go ahead.
And the angel,
15 years.
and the angel of the Most High went from him. And Joseph returned and lay upon his bed, and Joseph was astonished at the vision which he saw. And it came to pass in the morning that the king sent for all his officers and servants. And they all came and sat before the king. And the king ordered Joseph to be brought. And the king's servants went and brought Joseph before Pharaoh. And the king came forth and ascended the steps of the throne. And Joseph spoke unto the king in all languages.
What? How many languages?
All languages. And Joseph went up to him and spoke unto the king until he arrived before the king in the 70th step. And he sat before the king. And the king greatly rejoiced on account of Joseph. And all the king's officers rejoiced greatly with the king when they heard all the words of Joseph. And the thing seemed good in the sight of the king and the officers to appoint Joseph to be second to the king over the whole land of Egypt. And the king spoke to Joseph, saying,
See, so every time a supernatural Hebrew do event during our captivity, the highest you're going to get is second in command.
Right.
This is a powerful position, though, because you're still running the land.
Yeah.
You just have one over you, which we have to accept, unless you take the strong man's house.
That's right.
But the strong man had told you, you above my people. See, and the wicked side of that is like Stephen in Django. He was above them other white overseers. He was giving them orders. Get your ass, go over there and do this. Get over there and do that. And you're like, how you giving orders like that? But he was a Joseph on the slavery side, a coon on this side. That's the difference between Joseph. He was a coon master. And he was given the same type of power, but to put us down. Yeah, he was a Dathan, absolutely, like that Reubenite. Go ahead.
17.
17. No, 18.
Yeah.
No, I'm all the way down to 19. I'm at
Yeah.
20.
Yeah.
I'm at 20. Now thou didst give me counsel to appoint a wise man over the land of Egypt, in order with his wisdom to save the land from the famine. Now therefore, since Elohim has made all this known to thee, and all the words which thou hast spoken, there is not throughout the land a discreet and wise man like unto thee. And thy name no more shall be called Joseph, but Japhnathaniah shall be thy name. Thou shalt be second to me, and according to thy word shall be all the affairs of my government. And at thy word shall my people go out and come in.
So he named them after his name, just like the Pharaoh, or in the book of Daniel, he changed those Hebrew names to Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. He changed them to names that he could identify with them.
Right.
But Daniel was second in command, and Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego was his boys he got hired on.
Right.
You know, and they were in what's called corporate Babylon, corporate Egypt. Yo, because the nation still needs us as a light to run it and make sure they're not crazy. They do it to this day. They always got a Hebrew around in second in command advising.
Well, see, they read the manuscript.
Yeah, they read.
Because they know that Elohim said he had a proclamation to all the rulers and the kings of the earth.
Yeah.
To learn and love righteousness
Yes,
and
sir.
righteous judgment.
Yeah.
And do justice. That way they will prolong their kingdom.
Yes, sir.
By those means.
And come to the light. Shalom, Mark Wayne. Boy, I heard you had a big screen out there on Tabernacle. Boy, we thought we was back on Goodfellow and Natural Bridge where the Bluebird Drive-In used to be. But I heard they were looking at down at the arch, they saw your screen. Yes, sir. Let's get it, y'all. We're going right now to Zephaniah chapter 3. And we're going to see who this applies to and who language we have to know and to say the pure name of Messiah. Y'all, we have to say, if you got any doubt that it's possible he was sin. You know, it was a knucklehead out there that said if Christ hadn't been crucified, he probably would have sinned. And you're saying, so since he didn't, where we at now? That's the next question. So since he didn't sin, do you believe now? Because you said he probably wouldn't if God hadn't put him to death. No, he gave up his own life. The Father told him, you can stop this anytime you get ready.
No, he don't believe because he wouldn't even make such a statement.
Would make such a statement to even have that thought in your mind that pure could come down to this.
Right.
But guess what they'll do? They'll go down to Sula Market and get a lamb and talk over it like it's 100% pure. And it's getting sliced with the same blade of alligator.
And every other unclean.
Boy, look here.
They got all kind of unclean stuff down there going on.
Oh, we fool ourselves. No, let's go to the Arab International store. Ain't no pork in there. You just said the key word, Arab.
They believe in.
Oh, yeah. Boy, look at this. Hold on. Go.
Boy,
Boy, look, yeah, that screen was. Yeah, you can see that in the whole neighborhood, couldn't you? Yeah, there it is. Yes, sir. Wait. Well, you share tabernacles with the whole neighborhood. That's what we talking about, y'all. Yeah, get it. Just give it to 2 by. He right there. Yeah, just put it up there as soon as you get it. But let's keep going, y'all. Where we at?
Three.
Yes, sir. Let's get there. Who got it?
down at the end of that table. What was this your first? My bad.
3 and
Messing
what?
it up.
3. We're going to read it, Lisa.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, sir. Because what we're getting into now is the prophecy of returning to that language that they had when we got off the ark. And what we're talking about when we speak of one consent until. Y'all, right now, the languages of y'all, they what they are. They watered down. Every one of them is watered down. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Yeah, I can see it over there on brothers them screen. Yes, sir. So they watered down, y'all. If y'all understand what I'm saying, somebody trying to tell you they speak pure Hebrew is a liar. Pure English would be from England. We ain't speaking pure English. They speak pure English over there. It ain't my mom, it's my mom. M-U-M, ain't it?
Yeah. Me mom.
Yeah, it ain't my partner, it's old chap. C-H-A-P. We look at that like you need some Decimex. Old chap.
Or lad.
Right. Let's get it, y'all. Where we at?
Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 1.
Yeah.
Woe to her that is filthy and polluted.
Woe to who?
Her that is filthy and polluted.
If you have in your mind that our Messiah is like the leader you claim as some righteous one, or even putting Israel in a position that they're the righteous one, and we got threw out of Jerusalem.
Right.
And you still looking at us like that in our captivity, like we some great one?
He said we done worse than our forefathers.
Oh, look here, bro.
You're tainted.
Boy, go ahead, Lysa.
Woe to her that is filthy and polluted, to the oppressing city. She obeyed not the voice. She received not correction. She trusted not in the Most High. She drew not near to her Elohim.
Yeah.
Her princes within her are roaring lions. Her judges are evening wolves. They gnaw not the bones to the marrow.
See, and what that's saying is sometimes the language sounds like it's saying something different, but they're saying how we do our own people, we'll bite on them like we bite into the middle of a chicken bone. You know how somebody just strip a bone, and I'm talking about, it's one thing you strip gristle and it's still bone.
But you start biting into
Right,
the
and you
bone,
start
to
biting
the
into
marrow.
the bone, and then you throw it to the dog, and the dog like, what I'm supposed to do? It ain't nothing left. A dog done had hold of it, ain't it?
Ain't even
Go
no
ahead,
marrow in
bro.
it.
Ain't no marrow in it. Go ahead.
Her prophets are light,
What are prophets?
light,
Uh-huh.
and treacherous persons. Her priests have polluted the sanctuary. They have done violence to the law.
What have they done violence to, Elisha?
The law.
This what it comes down to. If you form Hebrew words, and they don't do what the law say, you have for unlawful carnal knowledge. That's why F-U-C-K is always in capital letters. They didn't know what to do to prostitutes when they charged them back in the early 20s around here. So they used to just stamp that on the paper in all capital letters. F-U-C-K, for we caught her and for unlawful carnal knowledge. Out on the street corner. Mattress back, we call her. So if your Hebrew letters form words that sound like that and it violates the law, get away from that individual. Get away from that individual. No matter what we talk about, when we tell them to go to Exodus 20, Ezekiel 18, and see if that law change in any version of the Bible, throw that Bible away. If them words are different, throw it away. But we're going to get into that alphabet today. Go ahead, bro.
Polygamy is not in our...
No, it ain't in our language. Wonder why they don't want to speak that language in Hebrew.
They don't know their letters.
Yeah, they don't know their letters. They don't know their words either. Because it ain't none for polygamy. It's Greek-led. And if you using that Sirach talking about ain't no word, don't have the force of Hebrew, it ain't to be looking at a language, then say what you promote and what you write books about in Hebrew. And quit missing me talking about the Hebrew language, and you can't even tell what you love the most and say it in Hebrew. No, because your actions tell us what it is. It's hustle and flow at the highest level. Let's get some more.
Verse 5.
Yeah.
The just Elohim is in the midst thereof.
Uh-huh.
He will not do iniquity. Every morning doth he bring his judgment to light.
Where he bring his judgment to?
Light.
Uh-huh.
He felleth not. But the unjust knoweth no shame.
The unjust knoweth no shame. An individual will take these words of the Bible and twist them so that he can swivel his hips to get his flesh in control and in charge. Go ahead.
I have cut off the nations. Their towers are desolate. I made their streets waste, that none passeth by. Their cities are destroyed, so that there is no man, that there is none inhabitant. I said, surely thou wilt fear me. Thou wilt receive instruction, so their dwelling should not be cut off. Howsoever, I punished them. But they rose early and corrupted all their doing.
Y'all see that? So they get up early in the morning and say, we can catch the Lord while he sleep. And we can get our wickedness in then.
Right.
We'll get up early.
Hey,
and
what's
see
the
what
guy
they
say?
Huh?
Gotta get up early, find me another lover.
Boy, look here early. And what they talking about is that early is that P. Diddy party. They say you better get out of here before it get early. They all want. But a lot of them stay there when it's early.
No.
Go ahead.
No.
Where you at, Elisha?
7.
Yeah.
8. Therefore wait ye upon me, saith the Most High. until the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdom, to pour upon them mine indignation, even all my fierce anger. For all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy. For then will I turn to the people a pure language.
What kind of language?
A pure language, that they may all call upon the name of the Most High, to serve him with one consent.
But that ain't gonna happen till he purge the earth of this wicked language down here.
Right.
Do as thou wilt language must be purged before he bring forth his pure law to talk to him in righteousness, because that's all gonna be in the kingdom. Yeah. You ain't gonna talk ain't gonna be no strifing and debate, ain't gonna be no contest, and ain't gonna be no, man, I heard they want to check the streets of gold. They say it's only 24 karat and ain't pure. That's what it'll be. Right. But ain't gonna be none of that.
You're tainted.
None of that Pharisee doctrine. Absolutely, bro. Go ahead. Verse 10.
From beyond the rivers of Ethiopia, suppliant. Even the daughter of my dispersed shall bring mine offering. In that day shalt thou not be ashamed for all thy doings, wherein thou hast transgressed against me. For then I will take away out of the midst of thee them that rejoice in thy pride.
What they rejoice in?
The pride. And thou shalt no more be haughty because of my holy mountain.
See, haughty, that Isaiah 3 where it say the children of Israel walk with their haughty neck, stretch forth neck, like my sugar honey iced tea don't stink.
Right.
Go ahead, what else it say?
I will also leave in the midst of thee an afflicted and poor people, and they shall trust in the name of the Elohim. The remnant of Israel.
The who?
The remnant of Israel shall not do iniquity, nor speak lies, neither shall a deceitful tongue be found in their mouth. For they shall feed and lie down, and none shall make them afraid.
The 144,000 they speak of, Revelation 14, Revelation 7 chapter. Nathaniel, who the Messiah said, indeed, an Israelite indeed, who there is no guile in his mouth. Y'all, that's no trickery come out of your mouth. Saying one thing, speaking with the forked tongue, them engines used to talk about. With the serpent tongue. Won't be none of that around the kingdom. If you join to a kingdom now and you know that's it, and you still talking about we reign as supreme, and your tongue is against your brother like that, you got extortion on him. And now the whole world get to see what type of brotherhood y'all have?
Right.
You think we want part of that? You think we want that round here? We're just trying to get through basically loving our brother, and then you add this to the mist? No, keep that where it's at, y'all. You don't have to join up with that. That don't mean the wheat and the chaff grow up together. The Pharisees and Christ's disciples didn't hang out together, did they?
No.
Did they?
No.
That means you probably in the same town.
Right.
You may share market space, but you can't come into fellowship with.
Right.
Let's get some more. 14, Elijah.
Sing, O daughter of Zion. Shout, O Israel. Be glad and rejoice with all the heart.
Yeah.
O daughter of Jerusalem. The Most High have taken away thy judgments. He hath cast out thine enemy. The King of Israel, even the Most High, is even in the midst of thee. Thou shalt not see evil anymore. In that day it shall be said to Jerusalem, fear thou not, and to Zion, let not thine hands be slack. The Most High thy Elohim in the midst of thee is mighty. He will save. He will rejoice over thee with joy. He will rest in his love. He will joy over thee with singing. I will gather them that are sorrowful for the solemn assembly.
For the what kind of assembly?
Solemn assembly. Who are of thee, to whom the reproach of it was a burden. Behold, at that time I will undo all that afflict thee, and I will save her that halted, and gather her that was driven out, and I will give them praise and fame in every land where they have been put to shame. At that time will I bring you again, even in that time that I gather you, for I will make you a name.
What he gonna make you?
A name and a praise among all people of the earth, when I turn back your captivity before your eyes.
And this is to the remnant. This is to the remnant, y'all, when he turned back your captivity. Then they'll see us in the right light. How are we going to tell them we the children of God in the shape we in right now?
Kiss my feet.
Yeah, kiss my feet. Go ahead.
Verse 18.
Yeah.
is the solemn assembly.
The solemn assembly is that host right now, all speaking the same language in righteousness. It's the kingdom where there's no outside of it is dogs and sorcerers, but inside is all righteous. Everybody on the same page. It's a Psalm. Is that 133? How shall we walk together lest we agree? Amos 3:3. I'm sorry, y'all know it, but that's where it'll be. Everybody will, like Jeremiah 31:31, Hebrews 8:8. You ain't gonna have to worry about saying, "Do you know the name of the Lord?" For all shall know the name of the Lord. Y'all understand what I'm saying? So that's what it's gonna be. Who was that got a game going?
That's Mike.
Huh? Who was that? Who phone is that? Oh, okay, it just
I
stopped.
got a second witness to that verse 20 is Jeremiah chapter 29 verse 14.
What it say, Zed?
And I will be found of you, says the Lord. I will turn away your captivity, and I will gather you from all nations and from all places whither I have driven you, says the Lord. And I will bring you again into the place whence I caused you to be carried away captive.
Now, what we're going to do, y'all, so you understand, because the language is given by a person, not the son, the 12 tribes. Not that son. That son is corrupted his ways. The Messiah was never cast out of Jerusalem. But we were as a nation, so we want to get into the pro and con of that. So we're going to start with Isaiah 53, and then you answer the question for yourself. What Hebrew on this planet could do that? Y'all, and then we got a little exercise about the language, and we're going to get clear on this today, on what his name is. And we're going to get clear on how his name is attached to the law. And then you'll know. We're going to get these letters today and see what they mean, because the Bible has the alphabet in it. So ain't no need in us being caught up in somebody trying to trick us and say, see, that word ain't supposed to be in there. Yes, it is.
All right, family. We're going to be reading in the book of Isaiah, chapter 53. We're going to start the reading in verse 1.
Yes, sir.
Give everybody a second to get there.
Yo, and this talking about the high priest. Ain't no human being on this earth that lived been able to do that. The first king of planet Earth failed.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 53 and verse 1. Who hath believed our report? And to whom is the arm of the Most High revealed?
Yes, sir.
For he shall grow up before him as a tender plant, and as a root out of a dry ground.
Yes, sir.
He hath no form nor comeliness, and when we shall see him, there is no beauty that we should desire him.
And now we had a false Christ named Hulon Mitchell. He called himself Yahweh ben Yahweh, and he had the label across his hat. You know, and this says the Messiah would come. He would have no comeliness or form, built like, a scrapping athlete, so to speak, and not looking like the lady's desire, so to speak.
Right.
But that's how the devil came, and that's how Yahweh ben Yahweh, so to speak, Hulon Mitchell. We call him wrong way ben wrong way. That's what he is to us. Wrong way ben wrong way. Been wrong.
Been wrong.
The son of a Pentecostal preacher, was in the United States Air Force, joined the Muslims, and they kicked him out because they say he was peeping in the urinal stalls over at the next individual. They told him he had to get out of the Muslims. Now, and then he said, no, Hulon was peeping. Peeping Hulon, yes, sir. You know, and then he gonna say how handsome he looked. Ain't my eyes look nice? Ain't I'm handsome, y'all? And the ladies hollering. So this eliminated him already else because he got pride talking about how good he looked off the top. Get him out of here.
Get them crazy eyes.
And then it say that we start off in Matthew where it say, if it say he's in a secret chamber, go not forth. Do you know this individual was calling from Leavenworth, from the penitentiary,
That ain't
still
a
trying to
secret
teach.
chamber.
Yeah, well, we didn't know what cell he was in. He called, all we heard in the background, phone check, homie. Class is dismissed. I'll come back next week.
That's what I mean. It ain't no secret chamber. Can't be.
They say if he be in the desert. Who was in the desert claiming they was the Messiah? Benjamin Carter, the bus driver. Where did we read in the prophecy? And he shall drive the 41 Lee River roads. He shall be employed by Chicago Transit. Huh? See, but we want to believe a lie. Let's get some more.
Verse 3.
Yeah.
He is despised and rejected of men, a man of sorrows, and acquainted with grief. And we hid, as it were, our faces from him. He was despised, and we esteemed him not.
So who is the we? And who is the him? If it's Israel the son, then it can't be Israel talking in the third person, can it? Like they like to try to pull a wool over your eyes with. Go ahead.
Verse 4.
Yeah.
Surely he hath borne our griefs, and carried our sorrows. Yet we did esteem him stricken, smitten of Yahweh.
And see, hold on, not to cut you off, but we weren't smitten because he carried our griefs. We were smitten because we did wrong in Israel. It ain't talking about the nation right here. Go ahead.
Smitten of Yahweh and afflicted. But he was wounded for our transgression.
And we only got the 10 tribes in Judah. And it said Judah was more treacherous than the 10 tribes was. So what son is this talking about then? The nation is being eliminated. Go ahead, what else it say?
He was bruised for our iniquity. The chastisement of our peace was upon him. And with his stripes we are healed.
How we gonna heal with stripes the nation and we striped up now?
Right.
We looking like a zebra right now. Zebra behavior. And we talking about we done saved ourselves? Let's get some more.
Verse 6.
Yeah.
All we like sheep have gone astray. We have turned every one to his own way. And the Most High hath laid on him the iniquity of us all.
Who is the him that he's laid the iniquity on? It can't be the nation because you got to explain who the people is that is getting laid from.
That's right.
They still got to be accountable unless you say, oh, well, that was the rest of the world. Israel had to straighten the rest of the world out. Not being here in captivity, you ain't.
No, not at all.
You're the shameful individual. That's why a redneck in a trailer park eating hot dogs his whole life can still look at you and say, you can say about me being in this trailer, but you know what you are? A nigger in slavery. That settles the score. I don't care how he looking in the trailer. He said how the world sees you. You were put in bondage. You were so bad to God. You're the worst of the worst. This trailer park ain't nothing compared to why y'all got run out. I didn't get run out of Trailer Park County. Let's get some more.
Verse 7.
Yeah.
He was oppressed.
What was he?
He was oppressed. And he was afflicted. Yet he opened not his mouth. He is brought as a lamb to the slaughter, and as a sheep before her shearer is dumb. So he opened not his mouth. He was taken from prison and from judgment. And who shall declare his generation? For he was cut off out of the land of the living.
Yeah.
For the transgression of my people was he stricken.
Y'all see that? For the transgression of my people was he stricken. We got to get back to who is the he? It ain't Aaron. Aaron got court-martialed in the wilderness and told a gift, take them clothes off and put them on your son. You don't deserve to wear these clothes, Aaron. Now get up there and die. And that wasn't for the people. That was for what him and Moses did at the Mount Meribah, at the waters of strife. Let's get some more.
Verse 9.
Yeah.
And he made his grave with the wicked.
Had the thief on the right and the left.
and with the rich in his death.
Joseph of Arimathea gave him his grave plot that never man had been in, the rich man. Go ahead.
Because he had done no violence.
What had he done?
No violence.
Uh-huh.
Neither was any deceit in his mouth.
Neither was any deceit in his mouth. What the nation was. Is the nation full of deceit? Are we deceiving Israel now?
Yes.
We need to find out who this he was. This is what we're talking about, what separates the true son of God, the spiritual, versus the flesh. That's what he told Pharaoh. You got my fleshly son, but my spiritual son gonna come and save them. Right. That's who led us out of Egypt. Right. That's who met Moses at the burning bush. Right. The Messiah. That's who Joshua bowed down to. The captain of the host.
We just read it in Zephaniah. He said your leaders are ravening evening wolves.
And we finna read about this side of it to eliminate them good. Jeremiah 5th chapter.
You done?
Yeah, we done here. Y'all can read the rest of it if you want to. We just wanted to get right to the point. And then y'all, we're gonna take a lesson in the Psalm 119, which is the Hebrew alphabet. We're gonna learn our letters today. So when we learn the song of Moses and we sing A, B, C, D, but we'll sing Aleph, Beth, Gamma, we'll sing the letters like that. And when they ask us, show us what Beth means, we'll be able to show them. Not like this alphabet when your children learn it and they sing it. A, B, won't you sing with me? Show me where F at. P and H. No, that sounds like F, but that ain't F.
What you got, Jeremiah?
No, you got Jeremiah 5, all of it. I just want to hit that license because this is going to eliminate the son or anybody thinking that we as the tribe of Israel is this son. This is the flesh son they're talking about, that Isaiah 53. We're going to Jeremiah 5.
Okay.
Just so you understand, and this all we have to go to, so you understand the difference in a spiritual son and a flesh son. This is so you know the difference in Hebrews 2:15, that how we were formed versus Hebrews 7 and 6, 7 and 16, how the Messiah was formed. It say he was born and formed through an endless commandment. That's right. Through an everlasting commandment, I should say. Not of carnal commandment. But this to tell the difference. This is finna show you born after the carnal way. Jeremiah 30, where we at? Jeremiah 5. Yeah, that's where we at. Let's get it, y'all.
All right, family, we're going to be reading in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 5, and we're going to start the reading in verse 1.
Yes, sir.
And it reads, Run ye to and fro through the streets of Jerusalem, and see now, and know, and seek in the broad places thereof, if ye can find a man.
If you can do what?
Find a man. If there be any that executeth judgment, that seeketh the truth, and I will pardon.
This what he say. If y'all could find in Jerusalem right now, man, I'll forgive Jerusalem its transgressions.
One more, ain't it?
Boy,
Just one.
Just one man.
And he was saying Abraham asked for 10.
Boy, look here in Sodom and Gomorrah, it wasn't 10. For one in Jerusalem.
Just one.
Go ahead, bro.
Verse 2. And though they say, the Most High liveth, surely they swear falsely. O Yahweh, are not thine eyes upon the truth? Thou hast stricken them, but they have not grieved. Thou hast consumed them, but they have refused to receive correction.
Y'all see the difference in Isaiah 53? He was put down for this behavior. And he's getting glory. He suffered affliction for our behalf. This is saying that he tried to come to them and they still refused good. Them leaders y'all got up there. Go ahead.
They have made their faces harder than a rock. They have refused to return. Therefore I said, surely these are poor, they are foolish, for they know not the way of the Most High, nor the judgment of their Elohim. I will get me unto the great men, and will speak unto them, for they have known the way of the Most High, and the judgment of their Elohim. But these have altogether broken the yoke, and burst the bonds. Wherefore, a lion out of the forest shall slay them, and a wolf of the evenings shall spoil them. A leopard shall watch over their cities, every one that goeth out thence shall be torn in pieces.
Because of what?
Because their transgressions are many, and their backslidings are increased.
So Isaiah 53 say there was no sin. Our iniquity was caused him. There was no rough speech. There was no deceptive speech. You're a captain of 50. General on deck. I'm Yahweh, wrong way, been wrong way. I'm all of the false Christ. Go ahead.
Verse 7.
Yeah.
How shall I pardon thee for this? Thy children have forsaken me, and sworn by them that are no gods, when I had fed them to the full. They then committed adultery.
What they commit?
They committed adultery and assembled themselves by troops in the harlot's house.
The strip clubs. See, that's why that one leader took his group to the strip club on the Passover. This they leader. This who they call they high priest. Y'all got them dollars?
Oh, wow.
I was only given a limited budget, so we're going to make it drizzle in here tonight. We don't have rain money.
It was
just drizzling. Yeah, you know what you like. Shit, is it raining? Go ahead, bro.
To verse 8.
Yeah.
They were as fed horses in the morning. Every one neighed after his neighbor's wife.
Y'all see that? What did he do?
They neighed after their neighbor's wife.
See, and when you read about Job, whose heart understood the Messiah, when you read in Job 31 chapter, he say, I made a covenant with my eyes. If I look at another's woman, then pluck my eyes out and let him and his friends look at my woman, but they can run a train on her. If I look at a woman with lustful eyes. That's what Job say. But this right here say they're in a whole nother league. This is Jasher 18th chapter. This is Jasher 19. This is Puffy's house. Go ahead. What else it say?
Verse 9.
Yeah.
Shall I not visit for these things, saith the Most High? And shall not my soul be avenged on such a nation as this? Go ye up upon her walls and destroy, but make not a full end. Take away her battlements, for they are not the Most High's. For the house of Israel and the house of Judah have dealt very treacherously against me, saith the Most High.
So this can't be the son. How did they deal with the Most High?
Treacherously.
And y'all know that term. If y'all say that about somebody, y'all know what the feeling in the heart is about that individual. You don't even have to ask no question. You don't even have to ask, man, what he do. When you hear treacherously, you know it's either a woman involved, they children, or his money.
Well, you know one thing.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, it's going to be one of them three.
All trust is gone.
All trust is gone at this point. My woman, my money, or my children, you done crossed the line with.
Yeah,
you treacherous. Go ahead. And what we going to do but say, woo, I didn't know he was like that.
I'm going to kill this nigga.
Boy, go ahead. What else to say?
Next statement right there.
Verse 12.
Yeah.
They have belied the Most High and said, it is not he, neither shall evil come upon us, neither shall we see sword nor famine. And the prophets shall become wind.
Yeah.
And the word is not in them. Thus shall it be done unto them. Wherefore thus saith the Most High Yah of hosts, because ye speak this word, behold, I will make my words in thy mouth fire, and this people wood, and it shall devour them. Lo, I will bring a nation upon you from far, O house of Israel, saith the Most High. It is a mighty nation.
What kind of nation?
It is a mighty nation. It is an ancient nation. A nation whose language thou knowest not, neither understandest what they say.
Because they're saying we're on top and our God is on top. That's a language we don't understand. We've been dealing with the king of the universe since our existence. We don't know this language. What they mean, white man is in charge, so to speak, or Babylon is in charge. We don't know that language. What language is this talking about? There's another king. Well, y'all did it to Samuel. You said give us a king like the nations. That's what y'all said. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 16.
Yeah.
Their quiver is as an open sepulchre.
Uh-huh.
They are almighty men.
And you call America Babylon, don't you? Who dropped nuclear on anybody on planet Earth but America? You can talk all that noise about somebody coming from another nation. The only way this nation fall is going to fall from the inside through civil war. It's the only way you're allowed to get your thing off. You have to look just like who you represent. It's the only way the white Unabomber and different things get on the inside. Outside is protected. It's coming from the inside. Didn't no nation try to scale them Capitol walls, did they? What nation was that?
Yeah.
Huh? It was his own people.
Yeah.
But other than that, ain't nobody coming here threatening. Not only did they tell Japan, we're going to drop one on you, and Japan surrendered. They said, oh no, too late to surrender now. We got to put that other one on you for good measure. You know, like your parents used to whoop you and you hollering, okay, I done had enough. She said, no, you ain't had enough. See, I gave you this one and you did it again. So I have to give you a little bit more. Well, you like this in your sleep and don't know. And then wake. Japan still waking up like that. Children still being born. Go ahead. Mike, you done got that, ain't you? Go ahead, let's get some more.
Verse 17.
Yeah.
And they shall eat up thine harvest, and thy bread, which thy sons and thy daughters should eat.
Deuteronomy 28, go ahead.
They shall eat up thy flocks and thine herds. They shall eat up thy vines and thy fig trees. They shall impoverish thy fenced cities.
Black Wall Street, go ahead.
Wherein thou trustest with the sword. Nevertheless, in those days, saith the Most High, I will not make a full end with you. And it shall come to pass when ye shall say, wherefore doeth the Lord our Elohim all these things unto us? Then shalt thou answer them, like as ye have forsaken me, and served strange gods in your land. So shall ye serve strangers in a land that is not yours.
Y'all understand the payback? This what we did at home. So he said, I'm going to kick you out and let you do that to the people you want to be around. You said we want a king like them, so I'll send you to them. Right. I'm going to give you what you want now, not what you need. Right. I'm going to give you your wants and see how you like. And that's all we do is march now. But guess where we keep marching back to? Not to our iniquity, but back to slavery, where we can point the finger at the white man, so to speak. But we got to point the finger beyond that. We have to point the finger at why we're here before he got his hands on us. Then we could point at him. I'm not saying you can't point at him, but you got to point at why you're here. He just didn't come get you.
Right. We would have never even had to deal with him had it not been for our iniquity.
Right. Yeah.
We would have never had to deal with him at all. Right. We were already in our land. Wouldn't even had to even deal with them whatsoever or any other nation.
With no language barriers?
None of that. Wasn't no language barriers there.
None of that, man.
Wasn't none of that. And we was at our height of wickedness. Now you expect us to be in this land going through 400 years to know Hebrew.
But this is why we continue to repeat our iniquities, because we fail to acknowledge our own iniquities.
Yeah.
And then repent. See, as long as we can always point a finger, we'll never acknowledge it ourselves, and we'll continue to repeat it.
Yes, sir.
You can't change unless you acknowledge you in the wrong.
That's right.
If you never acknowledge you in the wrong, you'll never change your behavior.
No, you
change.
change.
Think it's right.
What you got, Emo? You good?
Why you doing it?
Yeah. Always you say, I know I was wrong, but. What is the but?
Everything before that was bullshit.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Go ahead. Who got it?
Verse 20.
Yeah.
Declare this in the house of Jacob, and publish it in Judah, saying, hear now this, O foolish people, and without understanding, which have eyes and see not, which have ears and hear not. Fear ye not me, saith the Most High? Will ye not tremble at my presence, which have placed the sand for the bound of the sea by a perpetual decree, that it cannot pass it? And though the waves thereof toss themselves, yet can they not prevail. Though they roar, yet can they not pass over it?
And then you hear how this brother knows where his commas is supposed to be and how to read versus a period or hyphen or exclamation mark. He read that the word you said, is this who you looking at? The Most High is asking a question in there, so you have to read it like that, so that the people get understanding. If he just read through and sped through that comma, we wouldn't know who's talking, who's explaining what. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 23.
Yeah.
But this people hath a revolting and rebellious heart. They are revolted and gone.
Boy, look, when we holler somebody, man, he gone.
Yeah, right.
See, this language comes out of the Bible. Y'all, this wasn't made up on Martin Luther King. Man, he gone. This been in here. Go ahead, bro.
Second witness to that is Jeremiah 6:28.
What it say?
They are all grievous revolters, walking with slanders. They are brass and iron, and they are all corrupters.
That's what you see in debate contests. It's not about to build a nation up. It's about my brother that I can tear down, and we're teaching this crab in the barrel doctrine. How you got this much dirt on your brother and you've been to his house a couple times like that? How you got dirt on film like this? What you saving it for and you ain't went to him? Man, we had a good time here, but bro, let me ride with you a second. We got out of control, bro. I hope we don't go through this again. But they love it. Come to my house and let's do the same thing. But I'm hoping you don't get on film what I got on you. Y'all understand what I'm saying? We can't be affiliated with that. That's chaff. We can't mix with that. You're gonna get some bad bread.
Right.
Go ahead.
Verse 24.
Yeah.
Neither say they in their heart, let us now fear the Most High our Elohim, that giveth rain, both the former and the latter, in his season. He reserveth us, where he reserveth unto us the appointed weeks of the harvest. Your iniquities have turned away these things, and your sins have withholden good things from you.
Y'all see what's causing our problems?
Yep.
We won't acknowledge them, so can't nothing good come to you.
Right.
It's Negroes out here blame the Messiah for their bad behavior. Blame the Father for the trouble they done got into. He said he was going to deliver me not from doing evil. From the evil attacking you, he will deliver you. But you just can't do evil and then say, okay, I'm done now. Okay, I'll be good.
Right.
I'll be good. Ain't that what Puffy saying? I'll be good. I'll be good. They say, no, you won't. You stand right where you stand. Please, I'll be good. I give you my house. I give you my mama house. I give you all my money. I give you everything. I give you Ciroc. I give you all of that. I'll be good. They say, no, you won't. We'll see at trial how good you are. Let's get some more. Yes, ma'am. All of it ain't his anyway. Once they found the guns in there, that's our house. You got illegal guns with scratched off serial numbers in here.
And he a billionaire.
What'd you say?
And he a billionaire.
And you're a billionaire. You got Pampers in here thrown to the side. What are you doing with loose Pampers and baby all around? What are you doing in here? Go ahead. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 26.
Yeah.
For among my people are found wicked men. They lay wait as he that setteth snares. They set a trap. They catch men.
Who's doing this?
They are.
Go ahead. And who are they? The people of who? Go ahead.
Verse 27.
Yeah.
As a cage is full of birds, so are their houses full of deceit. Therefore, they are become great and waxen rich.
In deceit. See, and we have to get that out of our mind because somebody able to buy a new car or they seem like they're flourishing in wickedness. Wickedness love to spend the money.
Oh, yeah.
Because they got the money. You ain't getting into billionaire status until you show wickedness. You have to show wickedness with this much money. because all that money's electronic. Only money you have is the money that you have on you or the money you can get to right now. If the banks lock up right now, what you going to do at the ATM? If the doors of the bank are closed, what you going to do? If your cash app or your debit card is turned off, what are you going to do? If your phone locked, what are you going to do?
I went to work yesterday and left my phone.
Uh-oh.
I drove 30 minutes to get it.
Boy, you went all the way back there.
I couldn't even go buy no lunch with
Oh, boy, look here. He'd have been fasting. He had to make a U-turn.
He said unintentional.
Yeah, what you got, sister?
Last month, Bank of America, they had their nationwide shutdown last month. And I went to the post office, and the lady allowed me to run my card twice, and she said it declined. And that was a horrible, horrible.
Yes, it was, because
just exactly how you feel.
Because everybody's looking behind. She knows she ain't had no damn money on that card. Come up in here with $19. You know you got to have at least 20. You don't want to turn around and see who looking.
I didn't.
You looking at the card like you read the number. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I don't know what's wrong. And they listen. You can hear it. You can hear their thoughts. You lied. You know you ain't had nothing. You thought the bank was down. You was going to get over. Go ahead.
When I got to the bank, it was many, many people in line. But that happened nationwide.
Boy, y'all see that? We had an alert at 2 o'clock this morning. What was that, Thursday morning? 2 o'clock scared me. I thought it was an Amber Alert, but next thing I started hearing pounding rain. But that thing went off. It don't care if you just got the baby to sleep. It don't care. That thing starts screaming. Every phone in the house, whether it's on silent or not, starts screaming.
Yeah.
Wake up. Let's get some more.
Verse 28.
Yeah.
They are waxing fat.
Uh-huh.
They shine.
Yeah.
Yeah. They overpass the deeds of the wicked. They judge not the cause of the fathers. Yet they prosper.
Uh-huh.
And the right of the needy do they not judge. Shall I not visit for these things, saith the Most High? Shall not my soul be avenged on such a nation as this? A wonderful and horrible thing is committed in the land.
Uh-huh.
The prophets prophesy falsely, and the priests bear rule by their means.
By their means.
By their means. And my people love to have it so. And what will ye do in the end thereof?
See, this is why the nation of Israel couldn't be Isaiah 53 that the Most High is talking about. This is the reason. Even Judah and Benjamin and Levi was left at home at the 10 tribes, and they looked and they say, man, but have you peeped behind door number 3? What got them? And they went behind door number 3 and did 10 times worse. And I'm talking about the Messiah got to come out of this tribe. That's why it had to be a spiritual son. And it keeps comparing him to Adam in 1 Corinthians 15. It don't mention the nation of Israel, that first man on earth that was without sin didn't have no earthly father. Just like the Messiah who didn't have no earthly father. It has to be, the repair of the breach have to be like the individual who broke the promise. He can't come like an individual already stained up and fix it. Let's get to this alphabet. Now I'll tell you what, these one-liners, because that's all we need for the con on Jeremiah's side with him, and also 1 Corinthians 6 and 9, and also, unless your righteousness exceed the Pharisees, you have no part. That's all con. That eliminates Israel from being the people. In the wilderness eliminated Moses and Aaron, eliminated from being the people, because those were the priests, and both of them was court-martial. Both of them was told, get up there and die. You can't see the land. Mm-hmm. Who was higher than them two on earth?
Right. David had too much blood on his
Oh, come on, bro. Come on, bro. But he never sinned twice.
Right.
Of the same sin, I should say. John 7, 14 through 18. Y'all gonna get that first Colossians for homework, but we got to get right to the Psalm 119 where we got, we on good time. And See, the reason we showing out because Nat just showed up, and we on good time. We may could get that Colossians in, I don't know, but I don't want to. You know how you just don't want to show off because he here. You know, let's get some. Let's get it, y'all. Where we at? John chapter 7, verse 14 through 18. Some of this.
Hey Dan, let me say this real fast.
Yes, sir.
See what they don't be understanding is when you say 15 minutes.
Yeah.
You're talking about spiritual 15.
That's what I'm talking about, Nat. See, he get it. Yo, boy, you was come down here at the right time.
If that was it, why you couldn't say that?
Yes, sir. I did. Y'all wasn't listening. Go ahead. Nat was listening. Let's get it, y'all.
John chapter 7, verse 14.
Yes, sir.
Now about the midst of the feast, Yahushua went up unto the temple and taught.
What'd he do?
And taught.
Uh-huh.
And the Jews marveled, saying, How knoweth this man letters?
Words.
How knoweth this man letters?
Uh-huh.
Having never learned. Yahushua answered and said, My doctrine is not mine, but his that sent me. If any man will do his will, he shall know of the doctrine, whether it be of Yahweh or whether I speak of myself.
Uh-huh.
He that speaketh of himself seeketh his own glory. But he that seeketh his glory that sent him, the same is true, and no unrighteousness is in him.
Y'all read the rest of that. So that's how the Messiah came. If I speak, he said, these ain't my words. I'm the representative.
That's right.
If you don't believe this, then go and believe what they doing. They taxing you. They got you as they servants. I wash the disciples' feet. They got you washing theirs. They hollering sack day at you. Give me just a little bit of that first Colossians 1. We just read a little bit of it. Just a little bit of it. And we're going to get right into Psalm 119 because we have to get into understanding the letters, Hebrew letters, not Hebrew words, but the letters of the alphabet. See, like when we learn our alphabet here, A can have different sounds, right? So you form a certain word. Apple, A sounds a different way, right?
Long or short?
Archive. That A is sounding different, ain't it? Mm-hmm. So you put letters together to make it sound. F is in the alphabet for. But PH can make that F sound. Was that an F sound?
Yeah, it was definitely an F sound.
So PH can make that same sound when you put it together. You understand what I'm saying? Because phone would be F-O-N-E, it should be, but it's P-H-O-N-E. What you got in that?
Yeah, if you get into the book of Infancy, chapter 20, it goes more into depth on that John 7 and 15.
What is that again, Nat?
The book of Infancy, chapter
Book of Infancy in the lost books, y'all.
Yeah, when you go into it, the schoolmaster told.
That's right, it gets into detail down there.
Yeah, absolutely. Because he asked the schoolmaster told Jesus to say all.
Hold on, Dirk, look at that boy. Let's pass the nerf, y'all. Where you been past the nerf? Yeah.
Yeah, but he told him to say all of it. You know, Jesus repeated it to him, and then he said, say Beth. But Jesus said, hold on, wait a minute, tell me the meaning of the word.
Tell me the what?
The meaning of it.
Y'all understand what we talking about, y'all? It ain't about the words that they got you chasing. They manipulating that. They put together their letters. If it spells sin, that's not a Hebrew word. That's not a righteous Hebrew word. That's a word to get you to swivel hips. Like this individual that says, when the scripture said, and I put thy wives in thy master's wives in that bosom. This Negro want to do polygamy so bad. He said the Lord is allowing him to break the law that you can have the daughter and the mother. And he said, I would have given you that. Like that's a plus. That's a minus according to the law. That's wickedness. How you going to make that bosom spell that? What you've done is put Hebrew words together that spell wickedness. And you let it come out for one event that's going to last 2 or 20 minutes at maximum.
Them words of Babel.
Words of Babel, Elijah. Go ahead, y'all. Let's get a little bit of this Colossians chapter 1. Just a little bit of it, y'all, and then we're going to get into this alphabet so we learn our letters today. So C and H make Ka. sound, right? A K do that too, don't it? But we got to learn our letters so we know how to spell.
Right.
K-I-N-G, highway.
And you can
Where does
find-
K-A-N-G, highway, come from? Because I came from Mississippi. King's Highway. But if you're talking a little bit more proper up north, King's Highway, yes, King's Highway. See, and skanker versus skinker. Skanker, is that them nasty women? No, man, skanker and Page, what I'm talking about. Not skanks. Go ahead, bro.
I was going to say, you keep calling it the alphabet.
Yeah.
When it's the Hebrew, it's the Aleph bet.
The Aleph Beth, because it's the beginning of the letter.
Comes from.
The first letter.
Yeah, and then they have 2 more letters, four more letters in the alphabet than they do in the Aleph bet.
Because they have 28 verses.
26 versus 22.
Yes, sir. So, but that's just the Hebrew what we talking about. We're talking about English versus Hebrew. Absolutely, bro. Go ahead.
Colossians chapter 1, verse 1.
Right, exactly.
And they got vowels in it. Absolutely. We couldn't say no Hebrew if we removed the vowels.
Right.
You wouldn't know how to say it. You wouldn't know how to put your letters together.
Vowels, consonants, and syllables.
Let's get it, y'all.
Colossians chapter 1, verse 1.
Uh-huh.
Paul, an apostle of Jesus Christ.
What was he?
An apostle of Jesus Christ.
Uh-huh.
By the will of Yahweh, and Timothy is our brother, to the saints and faithful brethren in Christ, which are at Colossus. Grace be unto you, and peace from Yahweh our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ. We give thanks to Yahweh and the Father of our Lord Jesus Christ, praying always for you.
Y'all read all the rest, but jump down to verse 12, Zed.
Verse 12. Give thanks unto the Father, which hath made us meet to be partakers of the inheritance of the saints in light, who hath delivered us from the power of darkness, and hath translated us unto the kingdom of his dear Son.
To the kingdom of who?
Of his dear Son.
Uh-huh.
In whom we have redemption through his blood, even the forgiveness of sin.
Uh-huh.
Who is the image of the invisible God, and the firstborn of every creature.
What is he?
The firstborn of every creature.
Uh-huh.
For by him were all things created, that are in heaven and that are in the earth, visible and invisible, whether they be thrones or dominions or principalities or powers. All things were created by him and for him.
This is the Messiah. That wasn't about the nation of Israel, because this was put down and made to understand in the Garden of Eden before nations were ever separated to that point. Y'all understand what I'm saying? The repair of the breach, Genesis 3:16, that Eve was told, he's going to come through the line. The repair going to fix what you and Adam and Eve done here. The tree of life that y'all blocked from, he's going to straighten this out. He's going to come the way your husband was born, Eve. He's going to come just like that. And he's going to show you what your husband shouldn't have allowed you to say to him. But he's got to pay for his transgression as well. Why is it just Eve getting the punishment? And there was 3 punishments handed out in Genesis. First to the woman, then to the man, and then he gave Satan his punishment. All for the same crime, didn't it? Yeah. Why is these camps only teaching one sin took place in the garden? Why would they do that, Elijah? And then they want that one sin bad, and they want it to triple up. Give me all you have available.
That woman is wicked.
Yeah.
Can I have one?
Yeah. Give me the Quaba woman. I want her nothing but to understand what Quaba means. That's the Hebrew word she needs to understand, because that's all she's worth. Quaba. And I ain't going into Quaba. We got children in there. Let's get some more. Hold it, y'all. Y'all read the rest of that. Y'all pick that up all the way. Well, we could read the whole chapter, but for time's sake, we got to get right into this alphabet. Psalm 119, the longest chapter in the Bible. Why is it the longest chapter in the Bible? Why is that?
It's
teaches you your letters.
Boy, it teaches you your letters, Zeb. So that you can put your words together right. If you hear somebody say a Hebrew word and it's deception there, or you feel like that don't sound right, the Spirit is saying it's not the right Hebrew word. It was formed with wickedness. It's like strippers praying before they go out because celebrities out there in order. What are they praying for? Right. Look, are they praying for more rain? I'm just asking. So I don't know, bro. I'm just asking.
That's what they answer for. It's a rain day.
Boy, look here.
It said rain dance.
Psalm 119, y'all. And y'all, we gonna do this like this is what we did. We're only gonna do this name here. What's called the tetragrammaton. Y'all know what I mean. But these letters right here. Now, that's my drawing, which is a little rough. Should have had Liza do it. But this is what I'm talking about right here. This, that you have to know what this means, because it's saying this is who I represent. This is God. He's internal. He's omnipotent. He's the chief of chiefs. He's the most high. He's the creator and the maker of the universe. So we have to put these letters together so that you won't have these Hebrew groups out here that saying Yahweh means Baal or that spells something different. No, we're going to see what it spells according to the law after we go through the alphabet. So we're going to get right to these letters. This letter, this first one, because look, we read right to left on how it is. So it's Yod He, Wad He. Those are the letters that spell or say this is God. He's all powerful, but we have to let the law explain it to the point that where you put your letters together. If you don't, this will spell Satan to you. And they'll tell you that it spells that in the Bible, and now you're confused. So let's get right to the letters. The first one, Yod. Let's go to Psalm 119. Yod Hey Wah Hey. Okay. So I had that Mississippi on there again. Y'all, I can't shake that Starksville. But I ain't mad about it.
This is Babel.
Yeah, see, it's Babel. Thank you, Zeb. Yes, sir.
Got you back.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. See that? Yeah. King's Highway. Yod. That's Psalm 119. And we're going to start at verse 73 through 80 because every letter has 8 verses. And so we need to see what Yod is. What's the law of that letter? Yod. And we'll get to Psalm 119, verse 73 through 80.
Yod.
We're going to learn our lessons today. Our letters.
Thy hands.
Hold on, I hear a few pages rattling now. Psalm 119, verse 73. And look, y'all, not only have you got this script, but this script shows the word above every one. Not only that, but it puts the symbol right next to it. Yeah, get you some magnifying. Get you a couple of them Fred Sanfords. Rattle that drawer and snatch it open. Get the power out. That'll expand it for you. See, we ain't got to go nowhere else, y'all. We ain't got to listen to these linguistic masters who don't know nothing, who can't say polygamy in Hebrew. If you that good, say that. You selling books?
But you see, it's the untold law.
The unwritten rules.
Unwritten rules.
Yeah, the Lord didn't write them. I wrote them.
Ain't no rules for real.
I'm Lucius Lyons. Go ahead. What you say? Hold it down, y'all. Hold it down, y'all. What you saying? Well, it's not about no J. There was no A, E, I, and O, U, but we put those in Hebrew letter. It's not about that because, look, this the deal. If you look up Jesus in any concordance, is it going to say pig, horse, or Latin? Or is it going to say the Greek version of the Hebrew Joshua, meaning salvation? If it says something else, we'll deal with something else. But the people that say that are liars. Jesus don't say pig, horse, and the son of Zeus. It's not in there. That's some other doctrine. But when you look it up, I don't care if you look it up in a Hebrew concordance, it's going to say the Greek term or Latin word for the Hebrew Joshua, meaning salvation. It's just in the English tongue. We speak English. If we was that, look, when that demon get on you, do you be doing like this? Y'all ain't wild, ain't wild, hey. Y'all ain't wild. Or do you holler, Jesus, 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 and then you sit up. What happened? The devil, he was on me. He almost had me. God woke me up. Saying Jesus, though, right? You didn't holler that Hebrew word because you're coming back to the language that you know first off the top. If that killer roll up on you and put that nine in your head, you go say, Lord Jesus, y'all why ain't why faith? What you gonna say? We know what you're gonna say because you'd already said. All of us didn't say it. But we're not talking about the Council of Nicaea, Jesus. Right. Not that many Christ that come in another name. We're talking about that Isaiah 53. Right. Jesus that means Joshua. Because above his name was written in Latin, Greek, and Hebrew, wasn't it?
Yes, sir.
It didn't change.
Let's get you. Yod.
Verse 73.
Yeah.
Thy hands have made me and fashioned me. Give me understanding that I may learn thy commandments.
Y'all understand what the first thing it said? It said in the beginning of creation. Job speak of the same thing in Job chapter 10 verse 8. He said the same thing. He knew his letters. Job run it the same way. But he's telling us how I brought everything into existence. And the author of this, they say, is it David? Is it Ezra? It's the Messiah. When we get through reading the language, he's the word of God. He's the letters of God. He's his name. And that's who you're going to see who the author is when we keep reading. Go ahead. What else to say?
Revelation 19:13.
Yes, sir.
They that fear thee will be glad when they see me. Because I have hope in thy word. I know, O Elohim, that thy judgments are right.
What are his judgments?
Right. And that thou in faithfulness hast afflicted me.
Yes, sir.
Let, I pray thee, thy merciful kindness be for my comfort, according to thy word unto thy servant. Let thy tender mercies come unto me, that I may live, for thy law is my delight.
What is that delight?
The law.
Okay.
Let the proud be ashamed, for they dealt perversely with me without a cause. But I will meditate in thy precepts. Let those that fear thee turn unto me, and those that have known thy testimonies. Let my heart be sound in thy statutes, that I be not ashamed. So when anybody holler yo to you, if they ain't lining up with these 8 verses, get them out of there. They're false Christ. Yahweh ben Yahweh had that, or wrong way ben wrong way had that on his hat. He was saying he was Yahweh, and you was a Muslim? You was a Pentecostal preacher. Jacob called your dad and your mama and asked him what's wrong with you and that. We don't know what that boy gone crazy for. We didn't raise him like that. We raised him as a Pentecostal. And then he's looking over in the stalls at other brothers when he joined the Muslims. He don't fit Yod off the top. Yeah. And if you want to believe that, you're Sodom's children. You want to believe a lot. You'll look at any human being and say, as long as he sound like God, that's good enough for me.
Right.
Let's get that next word. Hey. Thank you. Psalm 119, 33 through 40. And we're going to get the second letter of the power of the Most High. When you understand, all you have to tell Pharaoh, just tell him I am that I am.
How you pronounce that word?
Hey. Yod, hey, why, hey.
That's it.
Keep on trying.
I'm going to get that.
I see you coming.
Yes, sir.
Verse 33.
Yes, sir.
Teach me, O Elohim, the way of thy statutes, and I will keep it unto the end.
Y'all see right there at the beginning of y'all scripture, verse 33. Do y'all have a more up-to-date kind of concordance type of Bible? You see the letter right there and the symbol? Tune in on that 2x if you can. I just want them to see. Hey, right there. And you see, can you Can you zoom in on there? Yeah, that's the letter right there, and the verses underneath. And see, it has the letter and the symbol, so we know how to put our apostrophe, comma, mark. Even if we got to talk with the symbol, we can spell his name with just the symbols, y'all.
Right.
Y'all understand what I'm saying? But those symbols better match up to the law.
It was small, but I got it.
You got it? Okay. Go ahead, Elisha. Start that over.
Verse 33.
Yeah.
Teach me, O Elohim, the way of thy statute, and I shall keep it unto the end.
Matthew 10:22, he'll say the same thing. Go ahead.
Give me understanding, and I shall keep thy law.
Uh-huh.
Yea, I shall observe it with my whole heart.
Yes, sir.
Make me to go in the path of thy commandments, for therein do I delight. Incline my heart unto thy testimonies, and not to covetousness.
And not to what?
Covetousness. Turn away mine eyes from beholding vanity, and quicken thou me in the way, in thy way. Establish thy word unto thy servant, who is devoted to thy fear.
Yes, sir.
Turn away my reproach, which I fear, for thy judgments are good. Behold, I have longed after thy precepts. Quicken me in thy righteousness.
So we see that as we get to keep saying this, we're going to see the Father and Son tied into this name. What you got, bro?
Show me that heat one more time, bro.
Okay.
You had the split screen.
I had the split screen? Okay.
I was showing that paper.
Yeah, right there.
Uh-oh.
Off of what? No, I wanted just to see that how it's in the Bible. If you got this, it has the Hebrew alphabet in the Bible. So you don't have to listen to nobody. You have it yourself. And we got to study, we read the script. You got to prove your own self. When somebody start talking language to you and they're doing words instead of letters, you have to straighten them out. But you have to be sharp enough to say, man, I don't need no concordance. It's right here. It's right here. I don't have to go. Let's get right into what we have on the table now and watch them put them other books away. Let's get it. Where you at, Elisha?
I finished that.
You finished that? So let's get Vav.
41.
Yod, Hey, Vav.
Your confidence just went out.
Yo, boy, look here. I'm looking. You see me looking at you?
I ain't even heard it.
VAU. Psalm 119, verse 41 through 48.
Wow.
And y'all see the little symbol right there with it? Yo, so if we looking at this, we are now to this little symbol right here.
Like a staff.
They're like a little staff right there. We're on that symbol now.
Yes, sir.
See, if you got this on, y'all, we need to explain this, y'all. We need to tell them we go to the Hebrew alphabet and explain this. Or you're going to be called short. It's just going to be decorative jewelry.
Right.
I don't care because it's in Hebrew. That don't mean you know you Hebrew. You don't know the Messiah is in here. You can't explain. You can't get Joseph in here as his father. You can't get the 12 tribes as his son in this. You can't. It's impossible. Many shall come in my name, saying Christ, and shall deceive many, because you don't know your letters. That means you can't read or write. Let's get some more.
So you dogs, you sure don't know to understand scripts.
Oh, boy, come on. That's what precepts upon precepts, you make that what it sound like. I read the word tree over here, and then I go over here, and it can mean something totally different. That is, that's my two precepts. That ain't nothing.
One tree is a man.
But boy, look at it. One tree is a man, one is a real deal. And you think them your two witnesses.
Yeah, they witnesses against you.
Yes, yeah, that's what they are. Vol, let's get it. Psalm 119, verse 41 through 48. Who got it? That's on your end, 9.
I think they missed Jay.
Did we miss me?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, y'all going, okay.
That's what
Y'all
you
going
gonna
back
say.
there. See, no, but see,
Don't let him go there.
look,
Don't let him do all
no, let me tell you, look, see, I peep, bro. Bro is going right to left. That's all he doing since we on the alphabet. Huh?
That's what it is.
That's
man.
what it is. No.
You just helped him out with that.
Yeah, I did.
No, you
Yeah,
got
I
lazy.
did. Yeah, I did, bro.
You got lazy, you didn't want to read.
Yeah, let's get it, y'all.
I'll get the prayer.
Yeah, go ahead.
And I knew that was coming next.
Let's get Vol, y'all, so we can close on out of here.
Psalm chapter 119, verse 41.
Nobody.
Let thy mercies come also unto me, O Elohim.
Yes, sir.
Even thy salvation according to thy word.
According to what?
Thy word.
Uh-huh.
So shall I have wherewith to answer him that reproacheth me, for I trust in thy word.
See, you got to know that this is talking about salvation right here. So shall I have wherewith to answer him that reproaches me, for I trust in thy word. The Messiah is thy word.
That's right.
Even unto salvation.
Even
so
salvation.
That's why we say, any one of y'all look up Jesus right now, it's just going to say the Greek version or the Latin version of the Hebrew Joshua. It ain't going to no pig, horse, or son of Zeus. That's some other fairy tale doctrine. See, they got you not calling on your salvation. But Joshua is the same thing. Just say Joshua then. How about just say Emmanuel? What's the difference? How about the King of Kings? How many titles do you want? But his name is the Word of God. It's these laws, statutes, and judgment. That's what he did. That's what he proved with no fault or no transgressions. None. Ain't nobody else. Ain't nobody else. Solomon didn't do it. He was the closest we could have got to, and he fell off.
I come in the volume.
The volume of the book? That's Genesis to Revelation.
It is written of me.
Well, come on, man. For me, about me, by me.
It's me.
My Father said I can do it. He said heaven is his throne.
That's right.
But I control earth and them levels in between him. He gave all that to me. I control that. I'm worthy of it because I didn't do what the sons of men did. Right. Adam and his descendants. What we did that we have to keep going through the Day of Atonement. Messiah didn't have to do no Day of Atonement. No. Right. Let's get some more.
Verse 43.
Yeah.
And take not the word of truth utterly out of my mouth. For I have hope in thy judgments. So shall I keep thy law continually.
How long are we going to keep it?
Continually. Forever and ever.
What you mean nailed to the cross? That's a false Christ. That's right. That's your preacher you calling reverend that you look at Christ.
Right.
That's violation of Psalm 111, 9 and 10. Right. Holy and reverend is his name. Go ahead. What else to say?
And I will walk in liberty, for I seek thy precepts. I will speak of thy testimonies also before kings, and will not be ashamed. And I will delight myself in thy commandments, which I have loved.
Which I have what?
Which I have loved. My hands also will I lift up unto thy commandments, which I have loved, and I will meditate in thy statutes.
Come on, y'all. That's Vol. And we're going to go back to hey again, but we already been through that. 119, verse 33 through 40. It tails it off again with this. I want to tell you again what y'all hey is doubled up in there. If y'all understand.
Teach me.
The Father and the Son. The Father and his law, and then the Son and his law, and his Father's law. It's all combined, y'all. It's all combined together. The Father and the Son. Not the Father and Joseph. It ain't going to work. It ain't going to never work. And it ain't no disrespect to Joseph because he was a just man. And he didn't want to put Mary on Front Street. You Negroes would rather accept that the law is saying Mary, Christ is really the son of a Roman soldier. These niggas will teach that so that they can put their leader up there. So that Free Case Ray will have pictures of himself on a mug. We know that's you. It look just like you. Or you ride into the Passover on a horse. The hell you doing on a Passover in a banquet hall, riding in on a horse to prove to who about what?
Right. Who cleaned up the mess behind that horse?
He wasn't riding the horse. They was
leading it along. Right. I'm like Jacob. Jacob said he would have saw a sister sitting over there with one of them hats on with all that basket of fruit on. He'd have pulled a pin out of and stuck that horse in the rear end. And when it reared up and caught his foot in it and drug him through that assembly, that'll straighten his ass. His rear end out. That'll straighten his donkey right out. Y'all homework.
That would have been a sign.
Yes, sir, homework. So that y'all can see this son and his power and his glory. And he brings back that alphabet to all of us, to the remnant of Israel. Y'all read Revelation chapter 20 through 22. and get the end of the volume of the book, because he says it's finished. Ain't no more to add on to it. We ain't add no Quran to it. We ain't add no white man doctors to it. That's Freemason. We ain't add no Mormon doctrine to it that these Negroes accept, and the Mormons say you mud people. Even this Dennis doctrine don't even mention you, and you champion his book. You hate our God. Let's final this up. Psalm 137, 1 and 2. And we're going to see what the Messiah says about these titles people are trying to get you to chase. 130, hold on. Is it 130? The name is above all that word. Where that, Nat?
Oh, 138.
138, 1 and 2. Yeah, you know what I want. 138, 1 and 2. I'll read it down to 4. And y'all will close on out. So that you understand, y'all, this ain't about what name you could pronounce. Because right now I'm off limits, being I still have that Starkville, Mississippi accent. They be, oh, you saying it wrong, dog. You saying it wrong.
You call it wrong by y'all.
Yeah. That's what they be saying. Y'all, because they don't know Hebrew. Who was that, Big Country? Show them what I need when I was reading out. Okay. Big Country, I'll give you a call a little bit later. Y'all, that's Big Country. We'll let the fam know, Most High willing, tomorrow. He okay though, y'all. It's just another issue. So we get at you, Big Country.
Psalms 138, verse 1. I will praise thee with my whole heart. Before the gods will I sing praise unto thee.
See, and that's what David had done studied his letters. And David is saying what I'm going to do now. Go ahead.
I will worship toward thy holy temple. And praise thy name for thy loving kindness. And for thy truth.
And for thy what?
For thy truth. For thou hast magnified thy word.
He has magnified. What has he made great or can see better? When y'all talk about magnification, that makes a letter blow up, don't it? Yes, what has he magnified?
Thou hast magnified thy word above all thy names.
See, so no matter what name you try to, Jesus, Yahweh Shai, Yehoshua, the word is above all that. Because you could be saying that and mean the devil. You could be saying Yahweh and you got Free Case Ray mental picture in your mind. You got Martin Luther King mental in your mind. And that's why everybody try to talk like him. All of them try to sound just like him, don't they? With that slow kind of dragging thing, but with the expert King's English code. Martin had some King's English. With the breath of iniquity, of unrighteous. You know how he used to talk. But all of them try to mimic that.
Right.
Y'all understand they chasing men. You chase the Lord, you're going to quote his righteousness because that's the only thing you're going to quote in the kingdom. You ain't going to quote no unrighteousness. You think you're going to be quabba hunting in the kingdom? Quabba! You think Isaiah 7 mean that? That's what I'm saying. That's what happened. They just start flapping wings. They want to fly to it, Zeb. They want to get there quickly. See, that's they quail in their kingdom. Y'all, let's close out of here, y'all. Was that some good bread today, y'all? That's what we want to ask.
Excellent bread, brother.
Y'all, it's a feast. That's what the Sabbath is. Y'all, how we supposed to be sitting around here angry? They joke. Yeah, but did you learn anything? That's the key. Or did you stand up when the general came and just tell us what you learned today? What you learned was to worship a man. That's what you learned.
That's all they do.
But we have fun when we feasted.
That's right.
Like you're supposed to have fun. Like the disciples now was laughing and having a good time. And they sang a hymn.
Yeah.
How you going to sing and everybody angry at the table? How you going to be singing? And our Lord is great. Chime in, Zay. And he is, and everybody looking like this. His works are mighty. Go ahead, Zay. Get your line. No, y'all, we have a good time and sing the song of the Most High. What you say, Zay? You ain't got no lyrics for that? Let's close out, y'all. We ain't got no more questions or concerns too about.
No, sir.
Let's get that prayer on, y'all. Yes, sir.
All right, family. We're going to get this closing prayer.
Yes, sir.
And it is with the Most High's permission. And is in the name of his only beloved and begotten Son, our Lord and Savior and our Redeemer.
Yes, sir.
Yahushua HaMashiach. Or we know him as Jesus the Christ, family. Long live the King.
Long live the King.
Reading in the book of Psalms, in the 73rd chapter.
Yes, sir.
It reads,
Yes, sir.
truly, Yahweh is good to Israel,
Yeah.
even to such as are of a clean heart.
Yes, sir.
But as for me,
Yes.
my feet were almost gone. My steps had well nigh slipped. For I was envious at the foolish, when I saw the prosperity of the wicked.
Yes, sir.
For there are no bands in their death, but their strength is firm. They are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men. Therefore, pride compasseth them about as a chain.
Yes, sir.
Violence covereth them as a garment.
Yes.
Their eyes stand out with fatness. They have more than heart could wish. They are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression.
Yes, sir.
They speak loftily. They set their mouth against the heaven, and their tongue walketh through the earth. Therefore, his people return hither, and waters of a full cup are wrung out of them. And they say, how doth Yah know? And is there knowledge in the Most High? Behold, these are the ungodly, who prosper in the world.
Yes, sir.
They increase in riches. Verily I have cleansed my heart in vain, and washed my hands in innocency. For all the day long have I been plagued, and chastened every morning. If I say, I will speak thus, behold, I should offend against the generation of thy children. When I thought to know this, it was too painful for me, until I went into the sanctuary of Yahweh. Then understood I therein.
Yes, sir.
Surely thou didst set them in slippery places. Thou canst them out down to destruction. How are they brought into desolation as in a moment? They are utterly consumed with terror. As a dream when one awakens. So, O Yahweh, when thou awakest, thou shalt despise their image.
Yes.
Thus my heart was grieved, and I was pricked in my reins. So foolish was I, and ignorant. I was as a beast before thee. Nevertheless, I am continually with thee. Thou hast holden me by my right hand.
Yes, sir.
Thou shalt guide me with thy counsel, and afterward receive me to glory. Whom have I in heaven but thee? And there is none upon earth that I desire beside thee. My flesh and my heart faileth, but Yahweh is the strength of my heart.
Yes, sir.
And my portion forever.
Yes.
For lo, they that are far from thee shall perish. Thou hast destroyed all them that go a-whoring from thee. But it is good for me to draw near to Yahweh.
Yes.
I have put my trust in the Most High Yah,
Yes.
that I may declare all thy works.
Hallelujah! Say God! Y'all got a chuckle or two. We greatly appreciate it. Thank you, worldwide audience. Thank you, family, for all y'all do for the administration, y'all. One love to you, family.
Yes, sir.
That was powerful, bro.
Yes, sir.
Boy, I feel that. You feel that. Because we're doing it in one accord. That cup lifted up is the same cup.
Yes, sir.